The theme for Kiner's Corner for 3 decades, a part of Mets broadcast. Well, this afternoon, Kiner's Corner will make its return following today's game between the Mets and Giants. We invite you to stay with us here on Fox Sports Net New York as Ralph takes his seat in the studio, and we'll recap today's game, talk with the guests, and relive some memories. As Kiner's Corner is back here on Fox Sports Net New York. Last night, Rick Reed was back in a Mets uniform for the first time in nearly a month. And as he made his return to the mound, it was, I guess a so-so performance. He lasted 4 innings. He struck out 5, but he gave up 3 runs in those 4 innings, touched up for a pair of doubles in the third when the Giants scored 3 runs. The big blow came from Jeff Kent. A bases-loaded double that clears the bases. The Giants went on to the win, although Reed was not involved in the decision. So Reed back as the Mets make their playoff run. He threw 102 pitches. He's now had about, 14 hours or so to think about his start. What did he think about what he did last night here at Shea?
I feel pretty good about it. I think if I finish the year with that kind of stuff, things are going to be pretty good. I thought I threw the ball well last night. I know the line didn't show that, but I felt all the stuff was there. It's just I ran into one inning where maybe a few of those pitches could have been the other way, but just didn't work out.
Well, the Mets are hoping that it works out this afternoon as Octavio Dotel takes the hill. He'll be opposed by Shawn Estes. The umpires are ready. Are you ready? Mets and Giants are, and we'll have the first pitch right after this.
If you seek to please your eyes, but neglect what can't be seen, you'll always be looking for something more. If you want to make strides, but can't stand still, you'll just go round in circles. If you drive a performance coupe, but do it only for fashion, you're not driving CL from Acura.
The wonder of it all. Take a chance, make it happen. Pop the cork, finger snapping. Spin the wheel, round and round we go. Life is good, life is sweet. Grab yourself a front row seat. Let's meet and have a ball. Yeah, let's live for the wonder of it all. Meet me at Foxwoods.
Howie Rose, Ralph Kiner, Fran Healy, Matt Lockman with you from Shea Stadium in New York for the final game of this homestand. Final game of the year between the New York Mets and the San Francisco Giants. It's the rubber game of a 3-game series. Octavio Dotel to do the pitching for the New York Mets, making his 13th start of the year. His first in a week. Remember, we've told you that everybody's had an extra day of rest, what with Rick Reed joining what is now a 6-man rotation. And our umpires for this afternoon's game brought to you by ClickandSettle.com. Tim Timmons will work behind the plate with Jerry Lane at first, Jeff Kellogg at second. Paul Schreiber, who drew the wrath of Bobby Valentine last night, at least on a couple of occasions where Bobby questioned calls made behind the plate by Schreiber. Paul Schreiber will be at third. But Tim Timmons, one of the newcomers, will call the balls and strikes. Mets will fly west after the game today. They will head to Los Angeles. 4 games with the Dodgers, 3 with the Rockies. But first, of course, the Giants. Dusty Baker presents this lineup for San Francisco. Marvin Bernard in center. Bill Miller, who did not play last night, will be at third, followed by Barry Bonds, Jeff Kent, J.T. Snow, Ellis Burks. Brent Maine, the former Met, had a big pinch hit double last night. He'll be behind the plate with Rich Aurelia, the shortstop, and Shawn Estes on the mound for the Giants. But the Mets pitcher, Octavio Dotel, with 6 wins and 1 loss, and he's starting, Ralph, to show signs of being a little bit more even in terms of his performances from start to start.
He has a tough assignment here today. No rookie pitcher has won against the Giants as a starting pitcher. The Giants have played 21 games against a rookie pitcher this year. They have won 13 and lost none. But Dotel has won 6 straight decisions, and the Mets record for a rookie is 7 straight decisions, done by Ron Darling and Doc Gooden. That was back in 1984, and Jason Isringhausen in 1995. So Dotel, known as a slinger as far as the pitcher is concerned, sort of like Martinez of the Red Sox. He slings the ball at the plate, sort of a unusual, unorthodox way of pitching.
So Marvin Bernard, the center fielder, in to lead off. Told you about that helmet last night. Get another look at that. You get the feeling that he's had that helmet probably since the beginning of his professional career. Got a lot of mileage on it. And Dotel's first pitch of the afternoon sails up and away for ball one.
Bernard, the type of hitter, has pretty good power. He has 18 home runs, but he also is a very good runner, and the Mets have to shorten up to defend against the bunt.
See Ventura in on the grass at third. And the 1-0 from Dotel. That's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Giants a hot club. They've won 9 of their last 11, 17 of their last 22. Dusty Baker and the Giants still 6.5 behind first place Arizona in the National League West. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Bernard. Giants are looking at a 3-game series they have at 3Com Park with the Diamondbacks in late September as the potential deciding factor in whether or not they go to the postseason. And the breaking ball. Piazza wanted it checked out, but no swing, according to Paul Schreiber. 2-2.
Giants came way back last year to make the wild card race a tie with the Cubs and lost to the Cubs in their playoff game. So they are looking forward to the same type of performance this year. Doesn't happen that often.
A 2-2 to Bernard. Fouled away. One pitch that Octavio Dotel is working on more and more, and how much a regular part of his repertoire it will become. Probably take a little bit of time, certainly into next year, but he really wants to develop the changeup into an out pitch somewhere down the road.
Well, the major league pitcher, to be really successful, unless you have burning speed, is have the pitches that you can rely on, and he has to acquire the changeup to go with his fastball and curve.
It'll be a 2-2 pitch again to Bernard. And it's a fastball to run a full count.
You'll see Bernard, I should say, you'll see Dotel miss a lot of times with fastballs up high.
As he does there for ball 4. So Dotel threw 3 fastballs pretty much the same spot, up and out of the strike zone. The Giants have a leadoff base runner.
Dotel backed up by Henderson in left field, Dunston playing center field, and Agbiati in right field. The Mets going for a right-hand hitting lineup against the left-hander. Ventura, Ordonez, Alfonso, and Olerud in the infield, third to first, and Piazza back doing the catches.
The runner goes as Miller takes the ball, and the throw way wide, and so a stolen base for Marvin Bernard. And the Giants immediately with a runner in scoring position.
Bernard gets his 24th stolen base. Piazza has thrown out about 22% of the runners attempting to steal this year. Gets a big jump on Dotel, and the throw not in time.
1-0 to Bill Miller, switch hitter batting from the left side. That's a strike, 1-1.
Miller's the type of player that will hit behind the runner and move the runner over on ground balls to the right side with the runner at second base. He's a prototype good ball player with not much power, but he does the little things correctly.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Miller. One of several Giants, Ralph, who missed significant time this year because of injury. He was on the disabled list from the beginning of the season until mid-May with a non-displaced fracture to his left foot. Barry Bonds has missed a lot of time. Jeff Kent is recently back from the disabled list. They've missed some key guys this year. The big strikeout there for Dotel for the first out because it keeps Bernard at second base rather than in position where he can score on an out.
And it's a surprise to me that Miller took that pitch, a fastball over the outside part of the plate. Of course, Dotel trying to pitch him away, so he'd hit the ball to the shortstop side of the field. But that's a big strikeout.
It brings up Barry Bonds. Bonds just 2 hits away now from 2,000 in his career. He has really been hot with a home run. And a fastball, 0-1. He's hit 14 homers altogether over his last 23 games. Talk about all the injuries this team has had this year. He missed 54 games, had elbow surgery. And the 0-1, a check swing, and Dotel in front, no balls, 2 strikes. He's on that all-century team with Mr. Kiner and others. What do you rank him? If you were to compare him to players of prior generations, would he fit right in?
Well, he certainly is one of the best players that has hit the scene in a long time. Of course, in his mind, he's a vet. No doubt about that. He thinks that he'll be the #1 left fielder of all time, but there have been people like Ted Winnings who played left field, and Ty Cobb, and a few others.
I guess you could say that Barry Bonds has become everything that his dad was supposed to be and fell a little short of becoming, because they had the same kind of thoughts about Bobby Bonds when he was coming up.
Bobby, of course, a very good ball player and a center fielder.
That pitch just missed the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, again, the pitch that could be called a strike. Mets unhappy with the strike ball call of the umpire last night, and also the Giants.
Paul Schreiber had the plate last night. He's at third base now. Home plate umpire is Tim Timmons. Now Bond steps out.
The scouting report on Dotel, sinking fastball, and starting to throw the changeup.
A foul by Bond, still 2-2.
Dotel was a strikeout pitcher in the minor leagues, but basically his fastball is his best pitch. And as we mentioned in the opening, he is a slinger. He's a guy that drops down and slings the ball to the plate. And there have been some great pitches that go that way. Martinez of the Red Sox is one like that.
And the breaking ball back to Dotel, and they've got Bernard held up. Dotel applies the tag, and Bonds has to hold on at first. 2 men away.
And Dotel showing great presence there. The way to make that play is exactly like he did it. You run toward the runners and run right at him, and you want to turn him back to the base behind. Right here, he runs at Bernard. He turns him the wrong way, actually, but Zell makes the tag. You want him, if you miss the play, to have the player end up at the base where he started.
Anything else Ralph Bernard could have done there to stay in the rundown long enough to get Bonds to second base?
Not when you run right at him, because you make him commit. And the minute he commits, you've got a chance to get him right away. And the best part about that play is it kept the batter at first base.
So now Jeff Kent with Bonds at first and 2 men away. Off the outside corner with a breaking ball, 1-0. Kent with that big bases clearing. Bases loaded double in last night's game. He was thrown out trying to go to third. That gave the Giants an early 3-0 lead. The Mets would come back and take a 4-3 lead, but the bullpen let it get away in the 8th and 9th innings. 2-0 on Kent. Now the Mets have to sweat out. The report on Turk Wendell, in case you're just joining us. Turk showed up in the clubhouse today complaining of some swelling in his right middle finger. Went to see Dr. Alchek in Manhattan. He's having an MRI, and hopefully we'll have a report before the end of the game. Outside to Kent, 3-0.
Just amazing to me how the 3 pitchers on the Mets all have had problems with fingers. I've never heard of that.
It's uncanny. First John Franco, then Rick Reed, each of whom have come back in the last few days. And we'll see about Turk. That's a strike to Kent, 3-1.
You don't suppose they're making that ball too hard?
You know what? Cookie Rojas swears they are. I was talking to Cookie
There's no
about
doubt about it. The ball is really a hard ball. It's much harder than the old ball they used to use, and of course that could have something to do with it.
Does it look smaller to you too?
It does look smaller and feel smaller. And it's wound tighter, and of course the center of the ball has been changed considerably, which they deny over and over again.
So a full count now to Jeff Kent, which means an automatic start for Barry Bonds at first base.
Back in the 40s and 50s, pitchers could take a ball if they had strong hands and actually push the cover. You can't do that now. You make the cover loose on the ball, and then, of course, the ball is deadened by doing that.
Fouled away, still a full count.
Of course, it's not made out of horsehide anymore either.
Ball's made out of what, cowhide now?
Cowhide now.
What would that do to the flight of the ball?
I don't know, but it's good for the horses.
They had good representation. Now the cows need better agents. And Dotel trying to keep Bonds loose.
Well, the runner's running on a 3-2 count. He's really not looking for a big break. He wants to make sure the pitch goes to the plate. So it's not really necessary to hold him tight.
So Octavio Dotel walked the leadoff man, who was on second base almost instantly with a stolen base. 2 strikeouts and a good fielding play by Dotel. The Giants don't score. Here come the Mets.
Excuse me, do you have the time? Do you have the time? Do you have... Excuse me, sir, do you have the time? Sir, I beg your pardon, do you have time? Anyone? Time? Anyone? Anybody? Time? Time?
5 things to consider about the Chevy Impala. It's new. It starts under $20,000. It's designed, engineered, and built to be carefree. It's at your Chevy dealer now. It's received a 5-star frontal crash rating from the federal government. As USA Today put it, it's a lot more car than you imagine, at a lower price than you expect. The new Chevy Impala.
Experience the joy of driving for only $269 a month. See your Chevy dealer for a great lease on the all-new Impala. Call for lease details.
Play Blackout Bingo, the new instant game from the New York Lottery, with more ways to win. You just scratch, then match. In a line, 4 corners, or in an X to win. Black out all the spaces and win 50 grand. Blackout Bingo. It's the game that's sweeping the state.
Hey, what's it going to take to get you to buy this computer today, huh? Come here. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'll upgrade your Sims to DIMMs, no charge. You'll even throw in a SCSI card. See, I know. Mouse pad. You want the mouse pad? 100% pure real neoprene. Come on, let me talk to you.
Last of the first inning at Shea, the Giants did not score in the top half. And so the Mets now will go after Sean Estes, left-hander who is 26 years of age. He's 4-1 against them lifetime, and this is the lineup that Estes will face. Presented by Bobby Valentine. Ricky Henderson leading off, Alfonso, Olerud, Piazza, who did not start last night, Ventura, Sean Dunston getting the start with a left-hander on the mound, as is Benny Agbayani. Ray Ordonez, the shortstop. You've seen Dotel. And now the Mets will get another look at Sean Estes. They beat him here 7-2 back on the 30th of April this year. 2 years ago, Sean Estes won 19 games. Last year, though, he missed some time on the disabled list with a strained pitching shoulder. And he's come back to win in double digits this year.
Yeah, one thing you had to really make him work, and the Mets are good at this. He has a tendency to be wild. He's averaged 5.5 walks in his first 23 games. He's got that down to 2 bucks a game in his last 4 starts. But the one thing you want to do is make him pitch and try and make him walk you.
Well, Ricky Henderson's the perfect guy to do that. He takes strike one. Ricky, it seems, just about every at-bat, talking about a full count. One ball, 1 strike to Henderson. Talking about all those walks, you total them up. And Estes has the 3rd highest walk total of any National League pitcher. Hard down and in.
Here's a guy that turned down a scholarship to Stanford. He's a brilliant man. Had a 4.0 grade point average in high school and is really known for being a thinker. When he won 19 ball games, he was going to Italy for after the season for a vacation, and he learned how to speak Italian before going over there.
Oh, just like that, huh?
Just like that.
Picked up a couple of books. Next thing you knew, he was fluent.
Of course, he had a ball player named Mo Berg, as Henderson takes a called strike, who could speak 9 languages, and he could hit at either one, or any of the ones. Here's the defense for the Giants. It's Wands in left field, Bernard in center, Burks in right field, Muller at third, Aurelia at shortstop, Kent at second, Snow at first base, and Brett Maine, the catcher.
Estes, who works quickly, throws ball 1 to Edgardo Alfonso. Fonzie 7 out of 14 in his career against Estes. And interestingly, you think of Edgardo Alfonso, and of course, you look at a hitter who would be difficult to position because he'll hit the ball to all fields. But he's hit better against right-hand pitching this year than left-hand pitching. Not that he's had a bad year against lefties. He's hitting 282 against them. 322 against right-handers.
That's really, don't say much, left-hand pitching.
Mets do have a better record against right-hand starters than left-hand starters on percentage. They're 20 and 15 against lefty starting pitchers, 64 and 40 against right-handers. 3-1 now to Alfonso. Nobody on, 1 out. Inside, ball 4. And the Mets get a 1-out base runner.
The scouting report on the left-hander, hard fastball, good movement, and he has a good curveball. And the one thing you got to really do is make him pitch and try and get him to walk a lot of batters. Don't see many pitchers being labeled as good defensive players.
Greg Maddux is about as good as they get. It's nice to see Dotel make a good, smart defensive play at the top of this inning. The ball hit right back at him with Marvin Bernard, a runner at second. Right here, the Mets with Alfonso at first, 1 away. 0-1 to John Olerud. And that's thankful. It was an off-speed pitch that got him on the helmet.
And right on the top of the helmet. And he appears to be all right. Of course, John had an aneurysm when he was in college that almost ended his professional career or his amateur career at that time. And he wears a helmet all the time to protect against that aneurysm.
Thankful this was a changeup, huh?
Breaking ball, got him right on the top of the helmet. Those helmets came into action about 1952 when they designed the fiberglass helmet to protect the skull of the ball player's plane. Only one ball player has ever been killed in the major leagues in a ball game. That was Ray Chapman in 1920 with the Cleveland Indians. He was hit by Carl Mays, who was a right-handed submarine pitcher, sidearm submarine pitcher.
So 0-1 to Piazza, who took off last night in preparation for the start against the left-hander today. Bobby Valentine had no intention of starting Piazza a night game, and then the following afternoon with a cross-country flight coming up after the game. Mets will play the Dodgers tomorrow night at Dodger Stadium. That's a long way to go. This is what the Mets, Mike Piazza, will try to avoid here. territory. J.T. Snow makes the catch. 2 men away. So Piazza pops up for the second down. That'll bring up Robin Ventura. Robin tied for 5th in runs batted in the National League with those 112. 5 less than the Mets' single-season record. Howard Johnson and Bernard Gilkey each had 117, and Ventura would certainly have to be a candidate, Ralph.
No question about that. The Mets have 3 possible candidates. There's no question about that either. Piazza, Ventura, and Alfonso.
1-0 to Robin Ventura. Looped in the air, short right center. Bernard hustling in, and the side retired. So no runs, no hits. There was a walk and a hit batsman. 1 in the books at Shea. No score.
I think you're beautiful. Gee, thanks. I was talking to the beer.
I need you to find these people now.
Okay, boys. Release the hounds.
Someone's been here. Searching for someone at your car insurance company after dark? At Geico Direct, we're here 24 hours a day. In fact, one 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Having fun yet? Get to the Liz Labor Day sale. Get store-wide savings and more fun stuff free with select purchases. The sale you've been waiting for is on now at the Wiz.
McDonald's and the Mets invite you to bring your youngster to a Mets game for free. Visit the McDonald's McFamily Activity Center and pick up a coupon to buy 2 tickets for the price of 1 to selected Mets games. And you and a guest could win a trip to Florida for Mets spring training next year. For every ticket order, the Mets will donate $1 to Ronald McDonald House Charities. Get your coupon at participating McDonald's restaurants while supplies last. No purchase necessary to enter. Entries must be received by September 30th, 1999. See store display for rules.
Second inning, no score. Octavio Dotel struck out 2 men in the top of the first, Ralph, but he also helped himself out with a smart defensive play.
Both teams had runners in scoring position right here. Not a good base running decision by the runner at second base. Bernard, who was trapped off second base, and the ball hit back to Dotel. He makes a good play on retiring the runner and can't follow with a strikeout to end the inning.
So Dotel will go to work here in the second against J.T. Snow, Ellis Burks, and Brent Maine. And the sinking fastball below the knees to Snow, 1-0. Mets have held Snow without a hit over the first 2 games of this series. Foul back. 1 ball, 1 strike.
The real problem in the first 2 games of this series, the Mets not doing the job at all. They have not hit well. They've had 4 hits in each game. And overall, they're hitting 145 for the first 2 games of the series with no home run.
Fastball misses 2-1 to Snow. Mets have handled the Giants well this year. They've won 5 out of 8, this being the last game between these teams this season. That's a strike on the outside corner.
Just think, Howie, no more games have we played in Candlestick Park. Isn't that a great thing to look forward to?
I'm ready for the champagne. Oh, I just want to know why Pac Bell Park is going to be much more comfortable than Candlestick.
It is not going to be any different.
Now, this should be an easy play. San Francisco would be all kinds of trouble. Because of the way the wind blows there. Agbayani makes the catch for the first out. Hey, Mets fans, the official Mets catalog has the best selection of authentic Mets apparel. And now you can shop online. Visit the Mets website at www.mets.com and click on the official Mets catalog icon to see what's on sale and what's new to the catalog this week. That's www.mets.com. Ellis Burks, the batter now for the Giants. And he takes the curveball for a strike. I don't know, Ralph, that Pacific Bell Park is going to be built in the China Basin, right off the water. Sure figures to be cold and windy in San Francisco, whether it's at Candlestick Park or
Well,
Pat Bell.
the weather in San Francisco is very constant. It's always winter there.
Of course, the classic line, I think, about San Francisco weather came from Mark Twain, who once said, "The coldest winter I ever spent was summer in San Francisco." And I would agree.
Mark had it right. Samuel was correct on that one. But Jim Murray, the great writer for the L.A. Times, who used to bash San Francisco regularly, he said San Francisco is not one of the great cities of all time. It's a cocktail party with no host.
Nothing in one to Brent Maine. Yeah, but that's that L.A. San Francisco rivalry, too, right? You could,
very true.
You know, Jim Murray was a great writer, but there might have been something else going on there. 1-1 to Maine.
He said if San Francisco were human, it would be W.C. Fields. That's pretty good crack right there.
Which means Philadelphia would move westward.
You're right, yeah.
What does it say on W. Field's tombstone? Better here than in Philadelphia?
Something like, for once I'd rather be in Philadelphia.
Something to that effect.
Yeah.
Mets will go to Philadelphia once more this year. We'll have the Phillies come to Shea as well later this month. So 1-2 on the way to Maine. And it's home past Alfonso into right field. So the Giants come up with the first hit this afternoon for either team. Brent Maine continues to hurt his former team.
Maine, of course, was with the New York Mets for 1 year. He's got 31 two-base hits, number one in the National League for catchers. And he was walked earlier this year by the Arizona Diamondbacks with the bases loaded. They walked Barry Bonds, a forcing a run, and he came up and they pitched to him, and he got the count down to 3-2, and then lined out to right field for the final out of the ball game.
That ball was hit hard too. Rich Aurelio takes a strike, 0-1.
Greg Olson was the pitcher that got him out after walking Barry Bonds with the bases loaded to make the score 8-7 with the tying run at third base and the winning run at second. Maine lined out to right field.
Brent now with a short lead off the first base. And Aurelio thought about a bunt, pulls it back. It's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Now you wonder what's going through his head. He was going to bunt for a base hit. That would bring up the pitcher. Now the pitcher's not a bad hitter, but nothing compared to what he could do when he could lead the all shortstops in home runs with 18. All shortstops in the National League. Why do people think like that?
1 ball, 2 strikes. Got to be careful. Somebody at St. John's, the academic department there, is going to get on you. Aurelio talked about him being from Brooklyn, having gone to St. John's. Back those 18 home runs, a San Francisco Giant record. Home runs in a season by a shortstop, breaking Darrell Spencer's record. Of course, this franchise played in New York for so many years, and Alvin Dark eventually managed the Giants in San Francisco, has the franchise record of 23 homers by a shortstop. This ball over towards the right field line. Agbayani hustling, and it's a foul ball. Well, Brent Maine will have to come back to count 1-2 to Aurelio.
Aurelio actually worked for the Metropolitan Opera House people and had a job there when he was growing up as a stagehand.
more culture than I had at that age. Or to this point. Gotel in front, a ball and 2 strikes. Maine runs. The pitch taken for a ball. The throw to second. Got him. So Piazza throws out Maine. That means Aurelia will lead off the 3rd inning for the Giants. Middle of the 2nd at Shea. We're scoreless.
Just a bit of magic. The unexpected was quickly perfected. Ahead of your head, I said, our stuff is what dreams are made of. Time to bring it on home.
Mini DV, made possible by Panasonic. Just slightly ahead of our time.
Just a bit of magic.
Smart. It's the magic word during Kenmore Days. Our exclusive Kenmore appliance event, and quite a clever time to buy. Add free delivery or 0% finance charge on all Kenmore appliances over $3.99, and poof, you could buy that shiny new dishwasher. Kenmore Days. Your new kitchen is now on sale. Only at Sears. Smart, stylish, simple. In a word, Kenmore, America's best-selling appliance brand.
We've told you Chevrolet cars are trusted by more Americans than any other. And you know Chevy trucks are the most dependable, longest lasting on the road. There's just one more thing to remember. It's the clearance days of the Great Summer Drive-In, where you'll find a great smart lease, big cash back, or 0% APR financing on select 1999 Chevrolet cars and trucks, including Blazer and S10, Malibu, and Cavalier. It's the clearance days of the Great Summer Drive-In. See your local Chevrolet dealer today.
Come and get it, sports fans. It's Fox Sports News this morning. Let's go. Serving 2 hours of the hottest highlights with the coolest coverage.
I like it. I like it.
It's a power breakfast without the calories.
That's right. You heard me.
Fox Sports News this morning, every morning.
New York Mets baseball is brought to you in part by Center. Different kind of company, a different kind of car. Well, that Unisphere has been up since the 1964 World's Fair. They were doing Kiner's Corner then, and we'll be doing it again beginning this afternoon, right after the Mets and the Giants here on Fox Sports Net New York. So there's not enough at stake for these teams, each of whom are involved in postseason aspirations. Now they're trying to figure out which one of them gets to be your first guest on Kiner's Corner.
How about Casey Stengel saying about the World's Fair in '64, the year the Mets opened here at Shea Stadium? He said, I don't know whether it's the World's Fair or the Mets that are drawing all these people out here.
It turned out to be both before the entire story was written. World's Fair here in 1964 and 1965, right around the time that Sean Dunston was born. Dunston to be followed by Benny Agbayani and Ray Ordonez here in the 2nd inning. Yeah, maybe it'd be fitting if it were a New York kid who wound up on Kiner's Corner this afternoon. On the inside corner from Sean Estes. No balls, 1 strike.
Dunston has the distinction of being the highest drafted player that ever lived and was born in New York. He signed in 1982 as the #1 draft choice. And Dwight Gooden that year signed the same year, was drafted #5 in the nation. And Dunston was #1. Thomas and Jefferson High School.
So Dunston down on strikes, 2nd strikeout for Sean Estes. Benny Agbayani will hit. This will not be a one-shot deal either with the return of Kiner's Corner. It's coming up immediately following the Mets and the Giants as a New York Classic returns. We'll have one today on Friday, Los Angeles, September 23rd against the Atlanta Braves, and following the final game of the regular season. Fittingly enough, when your former organization as a player, the Pittsburgh Pirates, will be here. Agbayani takes off the outside corner. Now, you broadcast Chicago White Sox games before joining the Mets, right?
Right, yes.
Did you do a whole lot of interviewing then?
No.
Agbayani's got a base hit, and the ball takes a hop off the hand of Bernard. Agbayani to second to throw. Gets away from Kent, hits Agbayani, and the Mets have their first scoring position. It ruled a double for Benny Agbayani. Bernard almost ran right past it.
Bernard last night had 2 balls go over his head in center field. This ball takes a bad hop. He was lucky to stop that one with the bare hand. And the Mets with their first base hit.
So now it's Ordonez with a runner in scoring position and 1 out. Sean Estes has had a lot of success against Ordonez when they've met before. Ray only 2 for 16 against the Giant pitcher. But he did drive in a run yesterday. Might have had another if not for Aurelia's play at shortstop on that hard-hit ball up the middle with the bases loaded.
Now, it was a great play by the shortstop, Aurelia. He saved 1 run for sure and got an out on the play, and the Mets got a run in. And Ray got a RBI. He's got 49 runs batted in, which is really very good.
It's the best he's had yet. It's his 4th year in the National League. So Agbayani at second. The outfield shifting the other way against Ordonez. He will do that. Go after the high, hard one. It's 1 and 2.
There is some speculation that the Mets will acquire a pretty good shortstop from Seattle, Alex Rodriguez, next year. He wants to play in New York. Of course, Jeter's got shortstop nailed down with the Yankees. Where else did they play?
Boy, that'd be an interesting package to try to put together to get Alex Rodriguez. As great a player as Rodriguez is, you'd have to think long and hard about disrupting the core of a ball club, such as it would probably necessitate if you're going to get Alex Rodriguez.
That would be the media's meat for the rest of the winter if that ever made.
2 balls, 2 strikes. WFAN would probably set a caller for most hypothetical, or set a record for most hypothetical trades offered by various callers.
That's right. And in that trade, you'd have to say Ordonez would have to go to Seattle if it were being made.
Slowly hit. Agbayani holds on at second. Kent throws Ordonez out, 2 men away. He didn't really see it there, but one thing Jeff Kent does particularly well defensively, at least I always thought so, Ralph, he's somewhat maligned as a defensive player, but he'll throw off balance across his body about as well as a lot of second basemen in the league, don't you think?
I think he's very underrated as a fielder. He's much better than people have given him credit for. He's very intense, and of course has proven that he is a major league hitter, bona fide, all the way.
So now it's Octavio Dotel with Agbayani still at second, and Estes quickly in front of him. No balls, 2 strikes. No score here in the second. Each team with a hit. And Dotel down on strikes. This is no gimme, as Eddie Perez showed us over the weekend, but Brent May makes the play to first. Well, usually it's a gimme. It just wasn't over the weekend in Atlanta. 2 in the books here at Shea. Mets and Giants are scoreless.
It's Maroon Kia Isuzu of Wayne, where you'll find the lowest prices on Sophias and 4x4 Sportages.
Come to Maroon Kia for the best deal and the best service.
Lease the new 99 Sophia for only $99 a month, or the new Sportage for only $199 a month, with automatic, air conditioning, dual airbags, and much more. At Maroon, you'll always find hundreds of low-mileage pre-owned cars and trucks. Come to Maroon Kia Isuzu for the best deal and the best service on the Hamburg Turnpike in Wayne. Call 839-9600.
New York Mets rookie fireball pitcher Octavio Dotel is coming to T-Wall Sports on September 16th. Call T-Wall Sports in Thompson Plain. Tickets are limited and sold in advance. First come, first served. Memorabilia will be available. Buy your tickets at T-Wall Sports for New York Mets superstar Octavio Dotel, September 16th. Tickets are limited and sold in advance. Hurry to T-Wall Sports for your larger location in Thompson Plain, or call now at 973-831-7900.
Got bad credit? Get help fast. If you need a better car, but your credit is holding you back, call now. Get approved financing even if you've been turned down before. Call now. There's no cost, no obligation, and no hassle. Call can help you. Phone lines answer 24 hours a day. Call now.
Friday night, the Amazons are swinging away in L.A. as New York's drive for the East continues out west. Piazza and the Mets battle the Dodgers. Friday at 10, live on Fox Sports Net, New York.
Well, New York football fans, make sure to tune to MSG tomorrow night at 11. Get the full scoop on Big Blue with Giants Online. And then on Friday, check out the season premiere of Heineken Jets Journal with an inside look at Bill Parcells and Gang Green, also at 11 p.m. Two exciting teams all in one place, MSG Network. Funny listening to Bill Parcells watching Marv Albert and Sports Desk last night talking about Brian Cox, the guy who was touting him on signing Bernie Parmalee, the free agent specialist the Jets signed yesterday. So now the pressure's really on Cox. Parmalee's a bust. Parcells can blame it on him. Rich Aurelia to lead off the third inning. Remember, he was batting when Brent Maine was thrown out trying to steal. And he goes after the first pitch. Alfonso up with it. Dotel has a quick out here in the third inning. So now the pitcher, Sean Estes, will hit. Remember, Ralph, we showed Aurelia thinking about a bunt, batting in the 8th spot with a pitcher on deck and 2 outs. When Maine got thrown out, I guess in retrospect, that's not a bad play to have Aurelia lead off, and then if you were to get on, you could have Estes try and push him up.
Absolutely. Good thinking by Dusty Baker. Good time to try and steal, even though Maine is not considered to be a base stealer. He had 2 stolen bases in 3 attempts. But it's a good play because you do have the situation start over again for the shortstop, Aurelia.
Didn't work out for the Giants because Aurelia grounded to second, and now Octavio Dotel quickly ahead of Sean Estes. No balls and 2 strikes. And the fastball right by him. 3 strikeouts for Dotel. 2 gone here in the third. This copyrighted telecast is authorized under television rights granted by the New York Mets solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the New York Mets is prohibited.
That situation was certainly a no-burner for Dusty Baker in having Maine try and steal. If he had made the stolen base and was on second, really had a chance to drive him in. And also, the other possibility would have been that they would have walked Aurelia and had the pitcher up and cleared the pitcher. So there are a lot of things that could have happened with that play, and Dusty took advantage of the situation. It didn't work out.
That's a fair ball pulled down the first baseline by Bernard, who's got great speed. Agbayani picks it up in the corner. Bernard turns second. Alfonso with the relay throw, not nearly in time. A stand-up triple for Marvin Bernard, his 5th 3-base hit of the year. So Bernard at third. Bill Miller will be the batter. Nice subtle little play by Ventura, too, because it was Ventura at third base who had to take that relay throw from Alfonso, and he ran up on the ball to make sure it didn't get behind him, keeping the runner at third.
Bernard with a single and double in last night's ball game comes up with a 3-base hit here, and you're right. Ventura made a good play moving up on the throw to keep him and get him away. The throw by Agbayani into the cutoff man, and Alfonso over to third base, and you see Ventura come up to make sure that he had the ball.
2 balls, no strikes to Bill Miller. Miller, a switch hitter, who's been in a slump lately. Miller just 3 hits in his last 26 at-bats. Hit well against the Mets over the course of his career, though, as he takes a strike, 2-1. Bill Miller, a .345 lifetime batter against New York.
Mets playing very shallow. He's a singles-type hitter. Makes contact, although it struck out his first time up in this game.
Dotel misses up high, ball 3. Remember, Barry Bonds is on deck for the Giants.
I don't know how he gets Miller out of the way he spells his name. Gray Mueller spells it the same way and pronounces it Mueller. Very an outstanding player for the New York Giants in New York before they moved to San Francisco.
And now a full count. Wasn't Mueller the guy who broke his ankle just before Bobby Thompson hit the home run?
Carried him off the field at third base, yeah.
San Francisco Giants had a Robbie Thompson. They also had a Bobby Bonds. That's Barry, who looms on deck. Payoff pitch, fouled away. Charlie Hayes played third base in last night's game for the Giants. Bernard leading from third with 2 outs. Again, it'll be a payoff pitch. Off the outside corner for ball 4. Second walk issued by Dotel. It'll bring up Bonds with 2 on. So that's a hitter Octavio Dotel really wanted to get with Barry Bonds and then Jeff Kent. The Mets have done a good job against Bonds this year. Bonds just 3 for 19 against New York this season, including that first inning fielder's choice. Adjusting the protection for that elbow, which was surgically repaired, Bonds missed 54 games because of injury this year. So runners at the corners, 2 outs. Third inning of this scoreless game. Missed with a breaking ball, 1-0. With the bases empty, the Mets have dramatically overshifted against Bonds. But here with runners on first and third, they have to play conventionally. The outfield deep. And the fastball, 2 balls, 1 strike. Barry Bonds, even with all that time missed this year, still has 30 home runs. Bernard at third. Miller at first. Quick check by Dotel.
You don't figure that Miller will be running here because he got one of the best hitters in the history of the game at the plate. He can't get thrown out, but attempted to steal second. Also, if he stole second, they could walk Bonds and he would not get a chance to produce.
Bonds got under it. And so will Sean Dunston. Side retired. Dotel got the first 2, then a Bernard triple, a walk to Miller. But they get Bonds on the fly ball to center. Middle of the third. No score.
Fortune 500 companies know that when it comes to renting a car, National Car Rental gets you in your car and on the road fast. So what are you waiting for? Let's go. National Car Rental.
Investors who expect value love Waterhouse Web Broker, where you can trade up to 5,000 shares for a low flat rate of only $12 for all equity orders, market or limit, listed or NASDAQ. You'll also receive free real-time quotes and charts, free online investment information, including S&P stock reports, Zacks earnings estimates, and Morningstar mutual fund performance data. In addition, you automatically receive a free asset management account, all for just $12 per trade. So visit one of our more than 160 branch offices nationwide, or call this number now. You'll also receive our free Investor's Guide to Online Investing. Waterhouse Securities, where investors who expect value feel right at home.
5 things to consider about the Chevy Impala. It's new. It starts under $20,000. It's designed, engineered, and built to be carefree. It's at your Chevy dealer now. It's received a 5-star frontal crash rating from the federal government. As USA Today put it, it's a lot more car than you imagine, at a lower price than you expect. The new Chevy Impala.
Experience the joy of driving for only $269 a month. See your Chevy dealer for a great lease on the all-new Impala. Call for lease details.
Well, everything else Kenny Rogers did on Monday worked, so why not the juggling act? Boy, was he good against the Giants in the first game of this series. Kenny Rogers pitching a complete game shutout. And right here, the Mets and Giants scoreless as we go to the last of the third inning. We'll go to the top of the Mets batting order with Ricky Henderson to be followed by Edgardo Alfonzo and John Olerud. Kenny's got reason to smile the way he's pitched as a Met.
Mets are really having a tough time getting some men on base and getting base hits in this series.
He only hit through the first 2 innings. That one-out double by Agbayani in the second. Mets have left 3 men on through the first 2. Henderson called out his first time up. And Estes misses inside. Ball 2. Hit hard, base hit right field. And the Mets get the leadoff man on for the first time this afternoon. So Ricky Henderson with a single. That'll bring up Edgardo Alfonzo. So Fonzie taking a good long look. You always like to give Ricky a pitch or two to try and run on his own. But Alfonso is such a good hit-and-run candidate, too, with the Mets, as Ralph said, having been struggling for runs in this series. A lot of possibilities in this at-bat. Try and manufacture something here. That's a strike, 0-1. Which was Ricky on first base, as often as he is. Helps Alfonso, I would think, Ralph, just in the number of fastballs he's going to see.
Should help.
Drives that one in the air to deep right field. Ellis Burks on the warning track to make the catch. And Henderson quickly back to first base. Henderson didn't tag right away. That ball hit just about to the right field wall. Ricky looks like he might have been mad at himself there.
Pitch is outside and hit a long way to right. Henderson goes off the bag about 20 feet and then comes back to the bag when he saw it was going to be caught, but then had no chance to move up.
So now it's Olerud who fouls the pitch back, 0-1. John was hit right on top of the helmet by a slow curveball, which is exactly the kind of pitch, if you're going to get hit in the helmet, you want to hit you. Ricky leading from first. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Olerud in his career has handled left-hand pitching well except for this year. This year he's had trouble with left-handers, hitting at 246. He's had 2 home runs against left-hand pitching.
Hit hard, base hit, past the diving Aurelia. Bonds hustles to play it. Henderson on his way to third as Bonds flips it back to the infield. The Mets have runners at the corners with 1 man out. Mike Piazza will be the batter.
Good job by Olerud as he goes with a pitch. Henderson goes around second on the way to third as Bonds throws to the right base. Holding the runner at first base as Olerud has to stop there.
So Henderson at third with Olerud at first. Piazza fouled out to the first baseman his first time up. Giants at double play depth on the infield. Makes it into 26 of them this year. And a line drive to Kent. He has no other play. So Piazza hit it hard, but right at Jeff Kent for the second out. be Ventura.
Another tough break for Piazza. Hits the ball right on the nose and right at the second baseman. Tough pitch to hit, but he hits the ball, but makes it out. Oliver hangs tight to the bag, and a good play there to keep from being doubled off.
Ventura with a fly ball to center field ended the first inning for New York. He's got 2 aboard here. And Estes throws him a strike. 0-1. Good curveball by Sean Estes. Ventura at .313 on the year, .276 against left-handers. He's hit them fairly well. Henderson at third. Olerud at first. The breaking ball inside, 1-1.
He's hit 9 home runs off left-hand pitching.
In the dirt, 2-1. Ventura has connected this year off of Sean Estes.
Off of Sean and his other appearance here at Shea Stadium, a home run. So he's got him as a book.
Inside, ball 3. Right-hand hitting Sean Dunston is on deck. In that game in which Ventura hit the home run, this lasted 5 innings, giving up 8 hits and 5 runs. And he was all over the place that night. He was wild. He threw a couple of wild pitches, 4 walks. Walked in that game. The 3-1 to Ventura, fouled away. The Mets have seen a much more composed and in-command Sean Estes so far, although it's early in the game, than they did back in April. So with a 3-2 count, Henderson the runner at third, and Olerud at first. Olerud will be off and running on a payoff pitch with 2 out.
It's got red sauce on it.
And Estes delivers. Outside, ball 4, the bases are loaded. That's the second walk Estes has given up. And now Sean Dunston, a former Giant, will bat with the bases loaded. Great sight last year at Candlestick Park when Dunston had his son with him in the dugout. Joe Carter was with the Giants at the time, and Carter was sitting next to his son. Sean was called up to pinch hit by Dusty Baker. Carter said to Sean Jr., "You watch, Daddy's going to hit a home run for you." Well, sure enough, Sean did hit a home run. The first one to greet him at home plate was Sean Jr. Sean Sr. carried his son off the field, called it one of the highlights of his life, never mind his career. Bouncing ball foul, 0-1. He said his son whispered to him in his ear, "You're still good, Dad." And your days as an everyday player are over. I guess maybe players have some doubt, but not Sean Jr. Not when he's talking about Daddy.
That is high praise right there, the kind you want.
So the base is loaded here with 2 outs. Nice stop by Maine, 1-1.
Does a good job there. Sean, with those wild pitches, he is up among the leaders, so you have to be really on the ball when you catch it.
Henderson, Olerud, Ventura, the base runner. Ricky trying to distract Estes. Dashing a few steps down the line from third. Now Dunston gets tired of waiting. Corner, 1-2. I have no idea what that facial expression of Dusty Baker's was all about. It's got something to do with teeth. I don't know if he's taken some ribbing from the Met dugout about that toothpick or what. Line drive, base hit right field. Henderson scores. Olerud around third. He's coming home. On his way to third is Ventura. Hits a 2-run single. somewhere, Sean Jr. is thinking, you're still good, Pop.
Well, a big two-out base hit off the fastball down around the knees and well hit. And Kent unable to get to the ball as 2-run score, and the Mets take the early lead 2-0.
It's gotten pretty cloudy here at Shea. It's rather overcast now, so Brent Maine has gone over to the San Francisco dugout to get rid of his sunglasses. Maine just now getting back near the batters and catchers boxes. So those shades that were on throughout the first part of this game have now been donated to the Giants trainer. So 2 out, runners at the corner still. Now it's Ventura at third, Dunston at first for Agbayani, who doubled his first time up. 1 ball, no strikes to Benny. Agbayani keeping his average up. It's at 283. Although it's been over 2 months now since he hit a home run. That's significant only when you take into consideration that unprecedented start with a long ball that he had as a New York Met. Well, those home runs, it was what, 11 home runs in his first 63 at-bats. Quickest start for home runs by a New York Met in history. Last home run coming against the Atlanta Braves. It's Yodelis Perez on the 25th of June at Turner Field. That's with 2 in off of Estes here in the 3rd inning. Hit hard, and it's through the middle for a base hit. Ventura scored. Dunston on his way to 3rd. RBI single for Kenny Agbayani. 3-0, New York. One of those humpback liners, Ralph, that had some English on it.
It's had a lot of English right off the end of the bat. You can see it start to curve, and it goes through the infield, and then slows up. Ball hit right off, cued off the end of the bat. No doubt about the fact that Dunston's going to go first to 3rd on that one.
And now Ordonez is the 8th man to bat in the inning, and he chops one to the right side that Kent gets to. And the flip to Aurelia retires the side, but not before the Mets, with some 2-out hitting, pick up 3 runs. Fran Healy will take you through the next 3. 3-0, New York.
I'm a real beer man, so I need to sell the real deal. That's why Coors Light's the only beer I'll vend. Hey! Coors Light's frost brewed by a bunch of real guys and a real brewer. So it's got a real Rocky Mountain taste. Come on, Rob! That's a low blow! Yeah. Can't fake that. If you did, I just couldn't be associated with it. That's it! Okay, Cyclops! Aquí vengo, amigo! Hold on!
Your next meeting is in 14 hours. Half a world away. That's when you'll appreciate Trans World 1. Where for a business class fare, today's aviators get TWA's very best service to Europe and the Middle East. Comforts like plush recliners, gourmet meals served at your request, room to relax, and more. Everything you need to arrive ready to do business. All for a business class fare. Trans World 1, only from TWA.
There's big news in the shipping business. Now there's a shipper that confirms your packages were received. A shipper that uses digital scanners, lets you check on delivery by phone or internet, and can save you up to 65% over 2-day services. Which one is it? The U.S. Postal Service. Introducing delivery confirmation for priority mail. So, now what's your priority?
It's about summer and getting you on the road. Now with $12.50 cash allowance or 1.9 short-term financing on a new '99 Plymouth Grand Voyager. The Chrysler Plymouth Summer Clearance.
Back here at Shea Stadium, now it's time for our Aflac trivia question. 6 players will finish the 1990s with over 1,000 runs batted in. Who are they? one of them be Barry Bonds?
He's got to be one.
Octavio Dotel ready to go here in the top of the fourth inning, taking on Jeff Kent. Kent with 19 home runs and 91 RBIs. Takes the breaking ball for strike. 0-1 on Jeff Kent. Kent in this ball game struck out. 0 for 1. Good fastball right there. Threw right by a guy with a quick bat. 0-2. Jeff Kent, a very intense player. Barry Bonds, very intense. And Sean Estes, the pitcher. Between innings looked very intense. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Kent. Foul back. We'll do it again at 0-2. Sean Estes really upset over the last inning when he gave up 3 runs. Of course, it's normal to be upset.
He gets over, yeah.
Some pitchers let it bother them when they go back out the mound, and others tend to deal with it. They don't forget it. And Robert Ventura gloves it. Throws across the infield to John Olerud. Scored 5-3-1 down. And Sean Estes went into the dugout, Ralph, and
There's a few words to say to some of the coaches, and you wonder what that's all about. Dusty Baker then goes over and talks to Sean. Baker's no guy to fool with.
One man down, the batter J.T. Snow, and he hits easy fly ball to left field. And the snatch catch by Ricky Henderson. You know, I asked him about that. He told me he started to do it as a member of the Oakland A's. And one day he caught the ball. It was a snatch catch, and he hit the glove off his leg and then flipped the ball up in the air and caught it with his bare hand. He was told by the umpires, if you drop that ball when you flip it out of your glove up into your bare hand, it's not a catch. You got to take it cleanly out with the bare hand.
That wasn't very nice of the umpires.
To warn him.
You know, one time in baseball, if you got a ball in center field and you ran the ball back toward the infield, which a lot of outfielders do, and dropped the ball, it was not a catch. And you could take 10 or 12 steps. You had to throw the ball and get rid of it, or it's deemed a catch.
So here's the 0-1 pitch to Ellis Burks. It's now 0-2. 2 men are out here in the top of the fourth inning. The Mets have a 3-0 lead. This is the final game before the Mets head off to Los Angeles, California. Octavio Dotel evolving into a complete major league pitcher. He gets a good hitter like Ellis Burks to chase the bad breaking ball. So Dotel sets the Giants down 1-2-3 here in the fourth inning. After 3.5, it's all Mets. 3-7.
Why do I have Aflac insurance on top of my regular health insurance? Because he has his mother's eyes. Because I still have to teach him to whistle. And because Aflac helps cover what other insurance doesn't. If I'm injured, Aflac even provides cash to help pay bills. So why do I have Aflac? Did I mention he has his mother's eyes? Aflac supplemental insurance. Without it, no insurance is complete.
We've told you Chevrolet cars are trusted by more Americans than any other. And you know Chevy trucks are the most dependable, longest lasting on the road. There's just one more thing to remember. It's the clearance days of the Great Summer Drive-In, where you'll find a great smart lease, big cash back, or 0% APR financing on select 1999 Chevrolet cars and trucks, including Blazer and S10, Malibu, and Cavalier. It's the clearance days of the Great Summer Drive-In. See your local Chevrolet dealer today.
Hey, Doug, it's Chris. I'd just like to thank you for telling me to buy that crappy computer. Why don't you come over and fix it, you son of a...
The new long weekend, new lower price edition of Mets Dream Week is your ticket to fulfilling your dream of being a big leaguer. Imagine taking the field in Port St. Lucie, Florida next January in your own authentic Mets uniform, next to players like Al Jackson, Ed Charles, Jerry Grody, and Cookie Rojas. If you've ever thought about being a Mets Dream Weeker, here's your chance. Call 800-888-4376 to learn more about Mets Dream Week. 800-888-4376.
Well, back here at Shea Stadium, go back to our Aflac trivia question. 6 players will finish the 1990s with over 1,000 runs batted in. Who are they? We mentioned one. It has to be Barry Bonds. Is he there?
How about that? Woodens? No.
Albert Bell leading the pack. You got Barry Bonds, Rafael Palmeiro having a great season with the Texas Rangers. Ken Griffey Jr. Mike O'Donnell is the greatest all-around player in the history of the game. Juan Gonzalez.
Easy now, easy.
Ken Griffey Jr.
Good player.
Oh.
I'm all-time greatest player.
Well, no, not right now. But, I mean, when he gets done now?
Well, well, you might get done early, too. Some things burn up a little faster than others.
Well, like that plant right there. But I would say Griffey has shown some traits for longevity.
You know what's interesting about that stat, though, is the fact that Bonds is the only National Leaguer. All the others in the American League.
He's had quite a career. Octavio Dotel, the batter, it's now 1-1. I want you to start, applauding the actions of some of these modern-day players.
He's a marvelous player, no doubt about that. When you're getting the all-time greatest player, that takes a lot of territory.
Well, with all due respect to one of my favorites, Willie Mays, and one of your favorites,
you're right
Joe
there.
DiMaggio.
Yeah. How about Babe Ruth?
Overweight.
Was he overweight? He's fat.
2 balls and 2 strikes at Dotel. Down and in, so it's a full count on the Met young pitcher. Our in-game box brought to you by New York Life. And Dotel walks, and Estes is going to have a nervous breakdown. Ron Paranowski looking on the pitching coach, and here comes Dusty Baker. He's not happy what he's seeing out there in the mound.
When you walk a pitcher leading off an inning and you're trading 3-0, you got to be a little perturbed.
Well, how about
no question about that?
How about his reaction to the walk? Maybe that alarmed Dusty as much as anything.
Well, he's very emotional. Had a great year in 1997, won 19 and lost 5.
Dusty Baker talking to the battery, Sean Estes and Brent Maine. Runner on first base, Octavio Dotel. So Sean Estes will now take on Ricky Henderson. Henderson struck out in this game. Andy singled to center field and came around to score in the 3rd inning. In the bottom of the 3rd, the Mets picked up 3 runs on 4 hits.
Well, they're not looking for the sacrifice here.
Henderson takes a strike. Talk to Ricky about his propensity for not running balls out. He did say that he's a back foot hitter who takes a big swing and doesn't get out of the box real well. Fouls the ball off. But of course we have seen him when he's had some time to get out of the box, not really busted it.
Well, he's had that reputation, and I would say at the age of 40 and with the career he's had, it's really hard to criticize him for anything that he doesn't do or does do.
And the 0-2 pitch, up high, 1-2.
One thing you got to know is that he knows how to play this game. And I don't know, I know what you're saying. I know that it's important to run everything out, and it's really the easiest thing a ball player can do. But some players just don't have that.
And plus, it's up to the manager. And the manager can easily, in spring training, put in a rule. If you don't, and explain it to everybody, look, this is how it's going to be done. If you don't run it out, you will immediately come out of the ball game. The other dilemma you have is you would have, I mean, the front office obviously would like to back the manager, and the ownership would like to back the manager. But say you pull a productive player out of the lineup, and you have a major problem with that player. Henderson, fly ball left field, easy play for Bonds. One down. And now let's get upstairs to Matt Lachlan. Matty?
All right, Fran. Well, we reported during the pregame show that Turk Wendell left for an MRI before the start of today's game. Well, the report is pretty good. The MRI reveals that Wendell has suffered a sprain to the knuckle on the middle finger of his pitching hand. He'll be out for 4 to 7 days before he's allowed to pitch. The treatment is simply ice and rest. He injured it in last night's performance, the game in which he picked up the loss. It's been an epidemic of finger injuries for Mets pitchers, but this is the least serious of the ones that sidelined John Franco and Rick Reed. Fran, back to you.
All right, Matty, and Edgardo Alfonso just took a ball, so it's 1-0. Fran Healy, Ralph Kiner, Howie Rose, Matt Lachlan. Hope you're enjoying Met baseball on Fox Sports Net New York. Final game of the homestand. Alfonso takes up high, 2-0. Talking about what would happen if a manager enforced the rule in attempting to get everybody to run the ball out. Could be a sensitive issue, but as you said, Ralph, you expect the players to run it out.
And then, again, if you got a great star who performs and wins and does everything that he has to do and doesn't run a ball out occasionally,
you overlook it.
Are you going to criticize him? You can't.
Nope, you're going to overlook it. Because I'm not so sure it's a fight you want to fight day in and day out.
You can't win that fight. No way in the world.
Especially today. If you pull a high-priced, productive player out of the lineup and you have fans coming from 80, 90, 100 miles away, it's not going to sit well with fans as Alfonso swings through a pitch at 3-2. But let's face it, everybody's supposed to run the ball out. But everybody that has played this game, I guess maybe not Pete Rose, at one time or another, loafed going down to first base.
Or didn't run. Let's not say low. That should go with bread.
Here's a 3-2 pitch. Inside, ball 4. So the Mets have runners on first and second with one man out. Sean Estes is struggling. He has given up 3 runs and 5 hits, but he has been wild.
He's walked 4 batters. He's averaged over 5 walks a game. Of course, walks and hits combined is really a true indication of a pitcher's ability.
Ron Paranowski, one-time relief pitcher with the Los Angeles Dodgers, now the pitching coach of the Giants, watches as Sean Estes throws the ball to John Olerud. Olerud was hit by a pitch in his ball game. He also singled to left field and came around to score a run in the 3rd. Olerud, 6'5", 225 pounds. And the 1-0 pitch. Good strike. Talk about Ron Paranowski. When he was in college, I believe it was either Michigan or Michigan State, he was a relief pitcher. And also on that team, Dick Raditz. Pretty good 1-2 punch in college.
And a pretty big guy, too. Dick Raditz was the fellow, he was with the Cubs, and they had a field fight. Everybody poured out in the field, and he went up to Freddie Poddeck, who was about 5'5", and Dick was what, 6'7" or something?
He was big, very big.
He says, "I'll take you, and a player to be named later."
Now 3-1 on John Olerud. That's trying to break this ball game open, and Estes is helping him. Look who's on deck, number 31, Mike Piazza. It's a high fly ball to left field. Barry Bonds is there and makes the grab. 2 down.
You don't see that happen very often with Olerud at the plate. 3-1 the count, and he gets the fastball, which I'm sure he was looking for. But it was not the fastball that he could really handle well. It was up, and he chased it and hit the fly ball to the outfield.
Ball beat him.
Yeah.
So 2 men are out here in the bottom of the fourth, and the batter will be Mike Piazza. Piazza 0 for 2. Popped out, and he lined out. Breaking ball misses. So he misses with the breaking ball. If you're catching, you got to think fastball right now. Mike Piazza, a real good fastball hitter. Beats him.
Piazza has driven in 100 runs in 5 years, and he has driven in 100 runs in his last 4 years. The only other catcher to drive in 100 runs 4 consecutive years. The catchers were Dickey, Berra, Bench.
Pretty good names.
That is heavy company there.
Have you ever seen a catcher more productive with the bat?
No.
No, never have I. I mean, to hit 330. Although right now he's batting 317. He takes a curveball for a strike, 1 and 2. You got to watch catchers, especially late in the season, because they're going to be streaky hitters because they get tired. That's why it's important to try and keep this guy's bat very strong and fresh with a rest here and there. Here's the 1-2 pitch. High fly ball. Kennard in center field, circling and making the grab. So the Mets strand 2 runners here in the bottom of the 4th inning. They fail to score. After 4 complete, it's Mets 3, Giants zip.
It's a steal! Stadium Auto Mall gives you 0 down and 0 payments to the year 2000. Lease a new 99 Explorer Sport 4x4 loaded. $119 a month. A new 99 Windstar, the best family van in America. Stadium price, $119 a month. Or a new 99 Grand Cherokee Laredo loaded. Only $229 a month. All available with 0 down, 0 payments to the year 2000, and guaranteed credit. Only at Incredible Stadium Auto Mall, Route 17 North, Rutherford, New Jersey.
Moda, the furniture store all New Jersey is raving about. Moda, designer furnishings at very competitive prices. Choose from a wonderful selection. Our friendly and knowledgeable design team will help create a beautiful image for your home. Your financed purchase will be remarkably interest-free for 1 year. Moda Furniture on Route 17 South in Paramus. We make style affordable.
What were the skies like when you were young?
There were lots of stars at night. And when it would rain, it would all turn. They were beautiful, the most beautiful skies, as a matter of fact. The sunsets were purple and red and yellow and blue and fire. The clouds would catch their colors. That's neat, because I used to look at them all the time. You don't see that.
Sportsnet.
New York Mets baseball is brought to you in part by Jeep, the most award-winning brand of 4x4s on earth. Hazy, lazy day of summer. Nat King Cole, I believe, coined that phrase.
That was one of his big songs. He was really a great baseball fan that played for the Cubs, and he would be, when he was working in the town of Chicago, he'd be at the ballpark every day.
Well, Octavio Dotel is working his magic here at Shea Stadium. You know, talking in the opening about Dotel, Ralph, I mentioned how I felt, besides the God-given gift he has of throwing the ball hard, and of course he's worked on his breaking ball and his changeup, I think the most important thing for Dotel is he is breaking in with a lot of veteran pitchers that can help him with the little things he has to know to be a successful Major League pitcher.
One thing he has to do is keep his ears clean. He's got to listen.
Oh, yeah, and he does.
I mean, that's the thing about ball players. They won't listen.
Brenton Maine takes up high.
How can you go wrong with Hershiser in the ball club, Tom Seaver working around with the players? I mean, this is information you can't buy.
Yeah, and I thought it was a great show we had here on Fox Sports Net New York when Dotel had a no-hitter going in San Diego. Phil Nevin broke up the no-hitter. Dotel pitched the rest of the inning. Dave Wallace gave him some comfort when he went into the dugout. But we had a great shot of Oral Hershiser talking to him for quite a while. And Dotel has looked good today. He has a 3-0 lead over the Giants here in the top of the 5th. And Brent Maine just walked. So we endorsed him, and he walked. Brent Maine.
He walked the first man he faced in this ball game back in the first inning. Also walked a runner, a batter in the third, and now his third walk in the game, but a leadoff walk. But he has the bottom of the order right now to face. No action in the bullpen for the Giants, so it means the pitcher will hit. That could be a real break for him.
Rich Aurelia, the batter, takes outside ball 1. Aurelia batting 8th in the Giant batting order. Has some pretty good stats. He's batting .272, 18 home runs, 65 RBIs, and there's Sean Estes on deck. Well, you get down deep into the order, you got to throw strikes. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and there's a strike. So it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Although you make a mistake in Aurelia, he's going to pop one because he has more home runs than any shortstop in the National League.
He has 18, which shows some power.
1 ball and 1 strike on Aurelia. Foul back, 1-2. So Dotel coming back with hard stuff. I think when you catch a young pitcher like Dotel, you'd like to, if you're a catcher, give him a target, not necessarily on the corner of the plate, because you don't want him to be too fine. He can make a mistake and throw the ball past the hitter. So it's okay to throw the ball and get a good piece of the plate. Get ahead. He's ahead now, 1-2. Hit his hand? Yep. So he hits Aurelia with a fastball. And Bobby Valentine coming out to argue with the home plate umpire, Tim Timmons.
Bobby is saying the ball hit the bat instead of his hand. Timmons seems to be convincing Bobby that it did hit his hand. And now the Mets are in trouble.
If it didn't, Rich Aurelia went from St. John's University to Actors Studio in Manhattan.
Well, he worked at the Metropolitan, so maybe that's where he picked it up. He worked as a stagehand there, and this ball got in tight. He should get first base. That pitch was really at him. He's lucky he didn't get killed.
So Aurelia's on first. He certainly get hit with this pitch.
Now you're going to have the pitcher coming up, and he's in a bunting situation. And the Mets, of course, will use or will not use, depending on whether they want to play it, the rotation play for a play at third.
Listen to this.
It sounded like it hit the bat, didn't it?
Of course, the hand is on the bat. Sean Estes takes down low ball 1. Dotel has to throw a strike. Make Estes bunt the ball. Try to get the lead man at third base. Brent Maine, the catcher for the Giants, is on second. Ventura in to tell Dotel what to do.
This is one of the reasons why the DH, in my opinion, is not good for baseball. Having the situations here where you have all this going on really makes a game.
Dotel throws up high, so it's 2-0 on the Giant pitcher.
One thing you got to do here is making bunt. You cannot walk it.
Dusty Baker, manager of the Giants, looking on. And Bobby Valentine in the Met dugout. Strike 1 on Estes. So it's 2-1. Another conversation. No sign given from Ventura to Dotel. They're not going to take a chance. They're going to tell him what to do.
Yeah, and so far, the Mets have not used the rotation play where the shortstop covers third.
And a 2-1 pitch. Foul back. Well, Mets defense very important in a situation like this, and the Mets are first in the major leagues with a .988 fielding percentage. Will they take the bunt off? It's 2 balls and 2 strikes on Sean Estes. Whoa! You go after? Yes, he did. Estes said he got hit.
Estes said, I got hit by that pitch. The umpire said you swung at the pitch. He is out. And Dusty Baker cannot argue about the strike call. He can say, well, he got hit. But that's as far as he can go.
Well, he's got to go out and argue for his players. He can't allow the players to do it himself. Plus, he diffuses a potentially volatile situation. Well, we're going to see if we can hear it. Let's listen.
If he gets hit, it's just the uniform that gets hit, not the body. He squares around, fits in tight. He's saying it hit me on the sleeve. The umpire says he swung at the ball.
Marvin Bernard, the batter, fouls off the first pitch. Let's see it again. Did it hit him?
Can't tell. It didn't look like he swung at the ball, though.
We would have to stop it, I guess, right near the arm. 0-1 on Marvin Bernard. Outside. Bernard in this game walked. And he has a triple. Hit the triple to right field in the 3rd inning. 3-0, the Mets on top of the Giants. Good fastball. 1-2.
We're going to slow it down as slow as we can to see whether or not the ball hit him. Right there. Doesn't look like it did.
No. Sean pulled his head. How did he know? And the 1-2 pitch to Bernard. He fouls it back. Big game here for the Mets. They got to win this, baby. They're heading out to the West Coast. The Dodgers have been underachievers this year, but they got a good ball club.
They've been playing much better of late.
Too little, too late. And the 1-2 pitch.
Well, the fastball and called the ball just off the plate. Fans in the stand said, that's got to be a strike.
There it is. Bernard didn't like it, but it looked like a good strike. So there are 2 men out. Dotel trying to pitch out of a jam here in the 5th.
And this pitch called strike 3, the 6th strikeout for Dotel in this game. Certainly wasn't low, and it looked like they had the outside corner.
Bill Miller, the batter, he's 0 for 1, and he hits a line drive in the left field, base hit. Brent Maine will come around to score. Ricky Henderson will throw into third base. He's now 3-1 Mets. So an RBI single off the bat of Bill Miller.
And what's more important, they keep the inning alive for Barry Bonds. Miller with his 20, making his 30th run batted in. He's seen limited action. He's that type of hitter. He gets the bat and the ball, slices it off to the opposite field, and a big 2-out base hit.
Bring to the plate the always dangerous Barry Bonds. Bonds in this ball game 0 for 2. Bonds takes a strike. You know what, Ralph? Ralph, I was surprised with the stat about the 2,000 hits for Barry Bonds. You would think of him as a guy that's going to flirt with 3,000. He's 35 years old.
Well, one thing about Bonds, throughout his career, he's had a lot of walks.
Yes.
He comes in, I would say, probably averages around 120 walks a year.
Now, he's going to go down as one of the great left fielders of all time.
No question about that.
You don't mind me throwing that all time around, eh?
Well, he's one of them. I like when you say one of them.
I threw one of them in there so you wouldn't slap me.
When you say he's got a chance to beat the one, that's a little different.
And the 0-2 pitch. Whoa! Got him! Threw a bullet right by Barry Bonds. Good pitching by Josell to get out of the jam, but the Giants pick up a one-run. Strand 2. We go to the bottom of the fifth, and it's 3-1 New York.
They say technology gives you the freedom to experience the world, especially when it's so affordable. Like a 2000 Jeep Cherokee Sport, which you can drive with air, power windows and locks, and remote keyless entry at no extra charge. When you lease one for just $269 a month with 0 down and $764 due at signing. Cherokee Sport. Now that's a cool way to access the sites you see online. Check out this $269 lease at your Jeep dealer today.
Shannon Sharp, please, has always talking trash.
You're paying, baby!
He's always trying to get inside your head.
Seahorse, you don't know your elbows from your...
And sometimes, he can get downright nasty.
I bet you pay transaction fees on your mutual funds. Your mama pays full commission. You know how to calculate a P/E ratio?
When we created a smarter kind of investment firm,
How diversified is your portfolio?
we created a smarter kind of investor.
You can't even spell Dow Jones. Okay, guys, let's get this right. To calculate a P/E ratio, you divide the stock price.
And there's a break in the action now with 4 minutes left to go before halftime. Now let's talk to quarterback Vinny Testaverde and find out what he thinks. Vin?
Boomer, are you going to do this the entire afternoon?
Get a 32-inch Sony TV at the Wiz, only $699 with no interest, no payment for 6 months with your Sony card. Buy a Toshiba 50-inch projection TV, just $1,499, and get a hi-fi stereo VCR free. Only at the Wiz.
And now, let's go back to the game.
How do you like your Domino's deep dish pizza? Domino's delivers your deep dish pizza hot and fresh because you like it like that. Order a medium deep dish with 2 toppings for $8.99 and get any second medium for $4.99. Call now. Domino's, how you like it.
Well, tonight at 11:30, tune into MSG Network as Marv Albert delivers the latest news, scores, and highlights from the local sports scene on MSG Sports Desk, presented by Chevrolet. Later, keep informed on the entire world of sports with Fox Sports News, tonight at midnight on MSG. And here at Shea Stadium, it's 3-1. The Mets on top of the Giants. Bottom of the 5th inning, Robin Ventura leads it off, and he takes a ball. Between innings, once again, even though it's middle of the afternoon, romance in full bloom. A proposal and an acceptance. Well, I'll tell you one thing, they've been consistent here at Shea Stadium. It must be a romantic place to be because we've never seen anybody say no.
You're right. Perfect record.
You don't want to have a bad record with that, huh? They got him up by the time decision board. Imagine a no. Up high. Robin Ventura says yes. He goes to first base. Mets have a base runner here in the bottom of the 5th. And now we'll take a look at our Delta Airlines upcoming schedule, Ralph.
Well, on the way to L.A., after the ball game today, they play the Dodgers tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday, all night games. 7 o'clock in L.A. and 10 o'clock here in New York. And then Sunday, a early afternoon game, or a late afternoon game. Then to the Rockies for the Colorado team.
Sean Dunston just took a strike, so it's 0-1. And keep in mind on our upcoming schedule, after the game today, Kiner's Corner. Ralph will be getting off the air after the 6th inning. You go downstairs, you do some exercises, you loosen up, do some stretching. Car, go with some salt water. Right back to Estes. He blew that, but they get the force at second base. So, nice play by Jeff Kent to get to that ball, flipping to Aurelia, who covered second base. Ball hit right back at Sean Estes.
And I wonder if Aurelia was on the base at second. Dragged the back foot across and got the out there. Dunson, who really does put it on all the time. There's no chance to double him up.
So one man down. Benny Agbayani will be the batter. You got Sean Dunson on first base, and the Mets with a 2-run lead. Estes checks Dunson, who has very good speed. Agbayani 2 for 2. He's got a double. He's got a single. He's got 2 runs driven in. Afternoon baseball at Shea Stadium. Foul back. Good rip by Benny Agbayani.
The Mets have turned the lights on here. The sky is overcast. At one time in baseball, you couldn't turn the lights on to complete a game. It was about 1950 when they broke that rule and changed it.
Then they said, okay, you can only turn it on the beginning of an inning. Foul off, 1-2. You can't turn it on, for example, you can't turn it on for the home team in the bottom of the 8th. You got to have them on.
They tried to do that. They wouldn't allow it. Turn them off for the other team up, the visiting team up, and turn them off for their home team.
Weather report from Kevin McCarthy here at Shea Stadium. Light sprinkles. These guys are going to play through the sprinkles. 0-2.
We played in San Francisco, and they called it fog, but it actually was rain.
They called it, and they would say it's a mist. I'm telling you, it would be a downpour. Juan Marichal would be throwing that screwball and a fastball. He told me he used the weather to his advantage.
Well, you know how that works. It missed Oregon and hit California. That's where the mist came from.
Fly ball down the right field line and out of play.
They called several games in San Francisco, also in L.A., I think, I know in San Diego, because of fog. The fog was so heavy that you couldn't follow the ball when it was hitting the air. And games were called off because of that.
Boy, you're talking about it last night. It's a shame that of all the new ballparks, the one in San Francisco is not going to have a roof. That's incredible.
And a good reason for it.
Can't afford it.
Didn't have any money.
That's right. Of all places, not San Francisco. And then they say the China Basin, it'll be okay without a roof.
Oh, no.
I know.
Forget that.
They check Dunston at first base. It's 0-2 on Agbayani. It's been a while since Benny went deep. Benny's got the strength of a home run hitter. He's solidly built, 5'11", 225 pounds. They check Dunston at first base. Agbayani reminds me of my old roommate with the Kansas City Royals, Tony Salita.
Big, strong, heavy-set guy.
Strong as an ox. 0-2 on Agbayani. He hits a fly ball to right field. Ellis Burks is there, makes the grab. And Dunston tagging up, and a heads-up throw by Ellis Burks to catch Dunston in second base. So, the Mets go down here in the 5th inning. Fail to score after 5 complete. It's 3-1 New York.
Uh-oh, here comes the skipper. Looks like there's going to be some fireworks now.
What are you doing tonight? Fella and I don't have any plans. Great! Marky and his wife are coming to my house for dinner. Would you like to join us? That'd be great! Great! If I can beat the traffic, I'll pick up some Bud Light. Bud Light! Looks like you're out of here. I'll see you and the wife tonight.
For the
a great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down. Make it a Bud Light.
You have a beautiful home here. Oh, thank you very much.
This is cellular.
Cellular. Cellular.
This is OmniPoint.
This is OmniPoint. This is OmniPoint.
OmniPoint is the digital wireless system so advanced it gives you paging and email.
Paging. Email.
Even stock quotes.
Buy. Sell.
Polly, wanna...
OmniPoint, 100% digital, 0% hassle. Get an Ericsson digital PCS phone for just $49.
The wonder of it all. Take a chance, make it happen. Pop the cork, finger snapping. Spin the wheel, round and round we go. Life is good, life is sweet. Grab yourself a front row seat. Let's meet and have a ball. Yeah, let's live for the wonder of it all. Meet me at Foxwoods. Foxwoods.
Shea Stadium, Flushing, New York. Final game. 3-game series here with the Giants. This is the rubber game. After the game tonight, the Mets board charter flight heading for Los Angeles, California. Catch all the action right here on Fox Sports Net New York Saturday, I should say Friday and Sunday. Channel 11 will bring you all the action Thursday and Saturday. Former Met Jeff Kent, 0 for 2, facing Octavio Dotel. Swung on and foul tip. Sprint man's glove, I should say, to Mike Piazza's glove. It's 0-2 on Jeff Kent. Keep in mind, Kiner's corner after this ball game. Might see Octavio Dotel there. There's a line drive base hit into center field, so Kent has his first hit of the game. And now let's take a look at our game summary.
Well, the Mets leading by a score of 3-1, a single and 2 runs batted in by Dunston to put the Mets up 2-0. Then Agbayani got a double and drove in the third run for the Mets. Estes, 5 innings, has given up 5 hits. He's walked 5, struck out 3, and Octavio with 5 innings of work and doing a good job up to now. Allowing just 4 hits.
They'll take on J.T. Snow, and he misses with a fastball, so it's 1-0. J.T. Snow, one of the best defensive first basemen in the game. Also gave up swinging the bat from the right side of the plate. He was a switch hitter. We're seeing that more and more today. Guys giving up the right side of the plate. Snow taking a strike, 1-1.
Also survived being hit in the head with a fastball from Randy Johnson in spring training.
Yeah, and he was batting right-handed when that happened. Also wanted to become a movie actor.
Well, Zad Jackson, a great football player.
1-1 on J.T. Snow. Whoa! Ball hit off the tip of Mike Piazza's glove, and it's a PB.
PB, fast ball, and that looked like a changeup there.
Looked like he was fooled, but he didn't go out and talk to Dotel. See if the ball sailed a little bit.
Wonder-looking pitch. Right off the top of the glove and a pass ball, so the runner at second base with no one out.
2-1 pitch, no swings, and foul tips the ball into Piazza's glove. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sean Estes pitching for the Giants this afternoon against Octavio Dotel. And the 2-2 pitch. He got jammed. Easy play for Ray Ordonez. 1 down. Well, we told you about Mr. Kiner. He's got his corner today. It's after the game. Upcoming Kiner's Corner today. And you get Friday night out in L.A., September 23rd against the Braves. October 3rd, Pirates against the Mets. Looking forward to Look at that. Sign in the stands. Kiner's Corner is back. You know, Ralph, Howie asked me last night. I was embarrassed to admit it. Couldn't believe it. As you look at Ellis Burks take a ball, he said, was I ever on Kiner's Corner? I said, no. You said you never take Punch and Judy.
We talked to your agent, and he wanted too much money.
I was really depressed.
It was really, it was a matter of money. I think it was...
ball front of center field, and Dunston in to back up. I like that. Ball goes into center field, and everybody's backing up, and the runner can't advance.
Well, Jeff Kent goes down the run. He doesn't know the ball's in center field. Now he does. It's too late.
He's probably happy that ball did not hit him on the coconut when he was diving back into second base. So it's 1-0 on Ellis Burks. Good hustle by Sean Dunston. Every center field, nobody should be able to advance on an error like that. Swung on and missed. 1 ball and 1 strike on Ellis Burks.
But getting back to your appearances on Kiner's Corner in the old days,
wait a minute.
It was a matter really of money, and the reason was you wanted it deferred. We were all for that.
All $5.
All $5.
You know, you could have put me on the day I called the home run that Willie Mays hit.
Right, it was Mays' first home run.
Yeah, so it's a throw. Got him. Where's Jeff Kent going? If you're going to do it, you got to be safe. They're trailing by 2. Totel has only allowed 4 hits. But if you're allowed to run at any time, you got to live with it.
Dusty, I'm sure, almost swallowed the toothpick because that's really an unusual play. Good throw by Piazza. He's out by a margin, big margin. And that tying run was at the plate when he got thrown out.
We see everybody do it. We see the Mets do it, get thrown out at third base in situations like that. Maybe it's changed. Has it changed for the better, baseball, in that category?
I don't think it's changed for the better. The old rules are still in effect.
What if he was safe?
But at the same time, the gamble was 1 out. Makes sense. Not with 2. But with 1 out, you think you can do it, and it's worth a chance. But in this case, it didn't work.
Well, there are 2 men down now. The runner on first base, Ellis Burks, with good speed. The batter, Brent Maine. Burks with the leadoff first. Swung on and missed. 0-1. We're getting back to Mr. Kiner's Corner. Yeah, that day that I called that home run for Willie Mays, that would have been a great time. You put me on, you say, what was the pitch? What were you thinking about?
Mays in his first game with the Mets after coming to the Mets from the Giants. And he hit that home run, and you called the pitch.
And I was proud. I called a few that day. Rusty Staub hit a grand slam. I called that one. But you could have brought me on and said, look, what were you thinking about? Or can you think? Do you have a brain?
The question was, what's your pitch to Mays?
I know. You knew he was going to do something heroic in front of a big crowd.
He was amazing how he turned it up for a big occasion.
1 ball and 1 strike on Brent Maine. 1 for 1. He singled. He walked and scored. Bouncer to first. Olerud takes himself. That'll do it for the Giants. Here in the top of the 6th, they strand the runner. Jeff Kent was thrown out trying to steal third base. The Giants fail to score. Mets have a 2-run lead, and we'll be back.
They say technology gives you the freedom to experience the world, especially when it's so affordable. Like a 2000 Jeep Cherokee Sport, which you can drive with air, power windows and locks, and remote keyless entry at no extra charge. When you lease one for just $269 a month with 0 down and $764 due at signing. Cherokee Sport. Now that's a cool way to access the sites you see online. Check out this $269 lease at your Jeep dealer today.
If a penny saved is a penny earned, you're about to earn a lot. McDonald's has a new way to save your pennies. A great new Mickey D's Dollar Deal. Get a 6-piece chicken McNuggets for $1 or a 20-piece for just $3. 6-piece for $1 or 20-piece for $3. But hurry in, this dollar deal ends soon.
Oh, no. Why me? Don't even think about... Oh, no. I hate this thing. You stupid.
Hi, I'm Mike Piazza, and this season I'll be taking it to the field to help make baseball better for neighborhood kids. I've joined an all-star team of supporters, including Bell Atlantic, Keyspan Energy, Wall Bonds, Pepsi, and the Mets. Together, we're going to give free Mets tickets to over 100,000 kids that play baseball. We'll rebuild fields in the community, and we'll provide youth baseball teams with free Pepsi each game of their season. So take it to the field, because there's never been a better time to play youth baseball.
Nora Brown from New York is today's lucky fan. That means if the Mets hit a home run this inning, Nora wins a dinner for two at a participating restaurant. Don't forget, stay with us. Kinder's Corner later. We'll find out who Ralph will invite on. They'll have fond memories of going on Kinder's Corner, something I don't have. Big thrill for players to go on Kinder's Corner here in New York. I know it would have been a big thrill for me, Ralph, if you asked me. You wouldn't have paid me. I would have gone on for nothing.
A lot of guys paid me. In fact, that's how I got paid. That's why. No, I'm a kid.
Ray Ordonez hit the ground ball to Jeff Kidd. And he puts JT Snow, a nice reaction by Snow to stop the ball from going into the Met dugout, one down.
Snow is one of the best fielding first basemen that has played the game, but right now among active first basemen, the #1 fielder in baseball, fielding percentage-wise, is John Olerud of the active players. The all-time leader, Steve Garvey.
He's 6th on the all-time list behind Garvey, Don Mattingly, who was very good, Wes Parker, who was very good. Javier Dotel just took inside ball one. You got Dan Dreesen, and Jim Spencer was a very good first baseman. So Olerud in very good company. Steve Garvey didn't have the range the other players had.
Garvey even won the whole season without an error.
Yeah.
That helped pretty good there.
But he didn't have that real good range, and he had trouble throwing the ball, where Olerud has decent range and doesn't have trouble throwing the ball. How about Estes? Walking Dotel.
Second time.
Jeez.
If I had to pick the best fielding first baseman, not one of those guys would be it.
Keith Hernandez.
You're right.
Yeah, Keith was something special, and he also had that
He's
great throwing.
close with the all-time player.
Yeah. Well, he had great range, as good as anybody, or better than anybody that ever played the game.
And a great arm.
Yeah.
Great hands, everything.
Although I'd like to see this year, and I don't know if it's going to happen, I'd love to see Ventura's going to be in a dogfight for the Gold Glove. But he could certainly win it. Ordonez could win it. Alfonso could win it. Love to see Olerud get a shot at it. In fact, I talked to Olerud about that, and he said it would be a huge thrill for him. Dotel leading off first base, and Ricky Henderson hits a fly ball to right field. This is a can of corn. Ellis Burks makes the grab. 2 down.
Okay, we got to bring up this topic right now. Why is Dotel wearing the jacket, running the bases on a summer day?
Where's he from?
He's from the Dominican Republic. It's hot. It's hotter there.
He's used to that hot weather.
Okay.
This is a little cool today for him.
But amazingly, pitchers wore those jackets, and they're base runners. Those runs mean something. What is it now?
You can't escape the cameras.
82, you got a jacket on.
It's a little cool here, Shea, as Alfonso takes inside ball one. Now, you'll see Dotel occasionally in the dugout with a towel wrapped around his arm on a hot day. So, clearly wants to keep that arm warm, whatever it takes.
The most famous incident like that was Zane Smith, a left-handed pitcher, was put in to be a pinch runner. He got to first base and called for his jacket. That is true. They wouldn't let him put him on. A pitcher can do it, but not a pinch runner. He was out of uniform.
Maybe he should have reported to first base with the jacket on.
Can you believe that? A guy comes in to pinch run and he calls for his jacket?
That's a reflex reaction. Pavlov's stimulus response. Is 2-1 on Alfonso. He takes ball 3. So 3 balls and 1 strike. I see a lot of pitchers today wrapping that towel around their arm. First pitcher I've ever seen do that was Frank Tanana. Alfonso looked the ball in the right field, base hit. So Tell stops at second base, Alfonso on first. And the Mets have 2 base runners here in the bottom of the 6th inning with 2 men out, and the batter, John Olerud. You know, we were talking about potential Gold Glove winners. I always felt Alfonso would have a shot at it. He had a shot at it at third base. Now he's at second base. Should win the Gold Glove. And once he gets it, he's going to own it for a few years. Estes throws the breaking ball down low to John Olerud, 1-0. Mets on top of the Giants, 3-1. 6 hits for New York, 4 hits for San Francisco. 2 balls and no strikes. Mike Piazza on deck. Strike. Knee high. 2-1.
Olerud with a big base hit in the 3rd inning to set up 3 runs for the Mets. He got that base hit off a fastball, and right there on the 2-0 pitch, he got a curveball.
And a 2-1 pitch. There's a base hit in the right center field. Dotel will score. Alfonso goes to third, Olerud on first, and the Mets have a 4-1 lead. So John Olerud coming through with another base hit.
His 81st run batted in, and a big 2-out base hit for the Mets.
Ralph, you mentioned that 2-0 curveball. It was then 2-1. You also mentioned how he got a hit off the fastball last time up. Pitcher says, you know what, I bet he's sitting on that curveball. I'm going to throw him the fastball.
And he did, and it cost him. So that is all for John Estes and a new pitcher coming in.
And with the pitching change, it's our call to the bullpen, brought to you by OmniPoint.
Hello?
Susan, it's Fred.
Hi. Are we still on for tonight?
Indeed. I have reservations at Shea Joseph.
Really? Her place is always booked.
Well, Shea's a personal friend of mine. Pick you up at 7.
Okay. So, do you look as good as you sound?
Find out how you can make local calls for only a penny a minute all day Saturday and Sunday. Call 1-800-BUY-OMNI.
And there's a break in the action now with 4 minutes left to go before halftime. Now let's talk to quarterback Vinny Testaverde and find out what he thinks. Vin?
Boomer, are you going to do this the entire afternoon?
Get a 32-inch Sony TV at the Wiz, only $699 with no interest, no payment for 6 months with your Sony card. Buy a Toshiba 50-inch projection TV, just $1,499, and get a hi-fi stereo VCR free. Only at the Wiz.
And now, let's go back to the game.
It's happening again.
Where's the center?
I got it. It's centered on Elwood Drive.
Back, ultimately back.
2.7.
Yeah.
2.9.
Oh, I'm feeling it. Go, go.
I just
save hundreds of dollars by switching to Geico. Yeah!
Geico Direct. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
New York Mets baseball is brought to you by OmniPoint, the exclusive wireless carrier of the New York Mets, and by Bud Light. Brewery Fresh Budweiser, official beer of Major League Baseball. This Bud's for you. Well, Mike Piazza steps in with runners at first and third. 1-0 on Mike. New pitcher Miguel Del Toro. On a relief for Sean Estes. Mets have a 4-1 lead. Bottom of the sixth inning. Olerud leads off first. Alfonso's on third. Piazza takes a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Talk about being over anxious. I spent my whole career diving at breaking balls. As you look at Octavio Dotel, Ralph just was walking out of the booth.
Getting ready for the tennis corner.
You were lunging. I spent my career lunging, and on the field, you were lunging in the booth.
Well, it's been a long time since I've done that show. I got to get down there and find out where the room is. We haven't been there for years. You take the elevator down to the first floor, right?
Yeah, then you
go around the corner by the locker room.
Well, you know, the locker room's changed.
They changed the wall there. I know that.
Don't try to go in that door because it no longer exists.
It's all
concrete.
Yeah.
You'll walk right into the concrete wall. Alfonso leading off third, Olerud off first. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Mike Piazza. And there's a drive to right field with a home run. Mike Piazza, number 33.
Leading by a score of 7-1, and a smile from Mike. Why not? Home run number 33.
He'll be taking those 33 home runs out to L.A. for a 4-game series. Mets have a 7-1 lead now. They've scored 4 here in the bottom of the 6th. Piazza will be out there in L.A. with his teammates, but he's taken his .317 average, 33 dingers, and 106 RBIs out to Dodger Stadium. 2-1 now in Ventura. Mets need a hot Mike Piazza. They got a tough road trip coming up. Dodgers, then the Rockies in Colorado. Down low. 3-1 on Ventura. And the 3-1 pitch pulled down the right field line. Extra bases for Ventura. He heads to second base and holds on with a stand-up double.
Well, Ventura walked in his 2 previous at-bats, and now with the double down the right field line, the Mets have really broken this game open to this point as they have exploded for 4 runs here in the bottom half of the 6th. And Sean Estes is on the losing side of this ball game. Estes walked 6 batters in this game. And he also walked the pitcher 2 times.
Huge mistake. Sometimes managers, well, they can't tolerate walks, but especially to the opposing pitcher.
And the walk here in the 6th inning opened the gates up for the Mets.
And Sean Dunston with 2 RBIs in this afternoon's ball game. So Steve Phillips, wheeling and dealing the last month or so, was able to really help this ball club as Ron Peronowski looks out. At the count of 1-0, Dunston steps back into the batter's box. He'll be followed by Vinny Agbayani. And the 1-0 pitch misses down low. 2 balls and no strikes. Just tuned in. Stay with us. Some more baseball here on Fox Sports Net New York, and then Kiner's Corner. Not everybody gets on that show. Unfortunately. Dunston 1 for 3. Mention those 2 RBIs. And it's a high fly ball, deep right field. Ellis Burke drifting over and making the grab for out number 3. But here in the 6th, Mets pick up 4. Estes is out of the ball game. Piazza's still in. He hit a long 3-run homer the other way. The Mets have a 6-run lead, and we'll be back.
Westwood Chevrolet, America's oldest Chevy dealer, asks, what's the bottom line? Getting a 99 Cavalier Coupe for only $199 a month for 36 months. Leasing a 99 Malibu for just $219 a month for 36 months. Or a 99 Blazer 4-door for only $299 a month for 36 months. Since 1914, Westwood Chevrolet, America's oldest Chevy dealer, has been answering this bottom line. Westwood Chevrolet, 39 Kinderknack Road, Westwood.
It's a steal! Stadium Auto Mall gives you 0 down and 0 payment to the year 2000. Lease a new 99 Explorer Sport 4x4 loaded. $119 a month. A new 99 Windstar, the best family van in America. Stadium's price, $119 a month. Or a new 99 Grand Cherokee Laredo loaded. Only $229 a month. All available with 0 down, 0 payments to the year 2000, and guaranteed credit. Only at incredible Stadium Auto Mall, Route 17 North, Rutherford, New Jersey.
We've always been there for you, and will always be. Schumacher Chevrolet, Little Falls.
Friday night, the Amazons are swinging away in L.A. as New York's drive for the East continues out west.
Great news! Volvo now has 2 new models for the model year 2000, and they're available at Kundert and Englewood Volvo. The Volvo V40 Sports Wagon and the S40 Sedan, starting as low as $22,900.
Apparel, and now you can shop online. Visit our website at www.mets.com and click on the official Mets catalog icon to see what's on sale and what's new to the catalog this week. That's www.mets.com. Speaking of .mets.com, Kit Geis. I wish her the best. Congratulations. She's getting married this weekend. Speaking of romantics, now sliding back into the booth with the play-by-play, Howie Rowe.
Pleasure to see you too, Fran. Pitch Aurelia takes ball 1 to start the 7th inning. It's 7-1 New York now. As Dotel throws a strike, Octavio Dotel now up to 106 pitches. And think about how big those 4 runs were for the Mets in the 6th inning. You know about Turk Wendell. He's unavailable today and for the next week because of a bruised knuckle. 1 ball, 2 strikes. For all the problems the Mets have had with pitching fingers this year, this MRI worked out okay. Wendell with a bruised knuckle will be out from 4 to 7 days. But now Dotel is in a position to either stretch his outing a little bit, or the Mets can try to eat up some innings in the bullpen. Billy Taylor and Chuck McElroy and Jeff Tam are here now, and they can try to alleviate some of the workload for people like Dennis Cook. as Aurelia strikes out. One gone in the seventh.
Well, Dotel right there, still throwing the ball hard, threw the ball right by Aurelia, and it would be a feather in his cap and would add to his confidence if he could give the Mets a complete game. But it'd be best for him, although I think sometimes we blow the complete game out of proportion. Talking about Turk Window, he has become a very important part of the Met ball club. Not only on the field, but off the field. Every week he's out in the community promoting baseball and helping charities. Yeah, talk about eating up innings. It's like Pac-Man.
Well, I think the most important thing now for the Mets starters, aside, of course, from performing well as they're supposed to do, or you hope they'll do, is never mind the complete game. But what you want to do is keep the bullpen as rested as possible when you consider how much they've been used this year. That's why the people who pitch in the middle, like Pat Mahomes and Taylor and McElroy and now Tam, become so important, because you have to keep Cook, Wendell, who's now going to have up to a week off, and even Armando Benitez as fresh as possible for this stretch run. 2 balls, 1 strike. To Santangelo, pinch hitting. He's a switch hitter batting from the left side. Batting for Miguel Del Toro, gave up that 3-run home run to Piazza, and then the double to Ventura. On the outside corner. Dotel still with real good movement on that sinking fastball.
Well, he's been blessed with a real live arm. You know, we talked about him in the past. He reminds me of a slinger in Boston named Pedro Martinez, and I know probably emulated Pedro's delivery a little bit.
On the outside corner with a fastball. Dying strikeout for Octavio Dotel.
Mets have to be very excited in what they're seeing with Dotel, not only because of his stuff, but because of his presence on the mound, his ability to show that confidence. Look at that fastball. Freezing Santangelo, good pitch from Dotel. Now 2 outs here in the 7th inning.
Well, 1 more K up there, and Dotel will tie his season's high. Struck out 10 Dodgers on the 6th of August. Now he goes after Marvin Bernard. He's gotten him once. That was looking in the 5th inning after Bernard had walked in the 1st, stolen a base, and then tripled in the 3rd. That's with a 7-1 lead here in the 7th. Cincinnati leading their ball game this afternoon, 5-2 in Chicago. The Reds split a doubleheader with the Cubs yesterday. So at the start of play today, the Mets 3.5 up on the Reds from the wild card, 3 in the loss column. And the Mets 3.5 behind the first place Atlanta Braves of the National League East. Braves play at home tonight against the Cardinals. Evan Millwood will pitch for Atlanta. 2-1 to Marvin Bernard. Dotel has walked 4 to go with those 9 strikeouts. The Giants with 4 hits off of him this afternoon. And the 2-1 pitch.
You know, Howie, earlier this year I read an article in one of the local New York newspapers and about a minor leaguer named Octavio Dotel. And in the article, he was quoted as saying, you know, I should be in the big leagues. I'm ready to come up to the big leagues. And I'm thinking, this guy's either crazy or he's got a lot of confidence. He's showing a lot of confidence. Whoa! Showing a lot of confidence, composure on the mound. But, you know, when you're in the minor leagues, you're not popping off. And maybe you're popping off in a local newspaper, but not where the parent club is playing in New York, especially New York. From our rooftop camera.
So the full count, Bernard fouls it off.
He's delivered. He struck out 17 hitters in the minor leagues. He has delivered in a nice fashion in the major leagues. If he wins today, it's 7 straight victories.
Dotel had a real good year last year at Double-A, first half of the season. They moved him up to Triple-A, and he spent September with the Mets. Did not get into a game. Just wanted him to observe, learn a little bit about big league life. And the payoff pitch to Bernard popped up to the infield. Robin Ventura waiting, and the side retired. So a strong 7th inning for Dotel, who gets the Giants in order. The Mets have stretched their lead. Now the fans will stretch their legs.
We've told you Chevrolet cars are trusted by more Americans than any other. And you know Chevy trucks are the most dependable, longest lasting on the road. There's just one more thing to remember. It's the clearance days of the Great Summer Drive-In, where you'll find a great smart lease, big cash back, or 0% APR financing on select 1999 Chevrolet cars and trucks, including Blazer and S10, Malibu, and Cavalier. It's the clearance days of the Great Summer Drive-In. See your local Chevrolet dealer today.
Imagine if people could just order things online, and out they came. Into their homes, into their offices. Well, maybe someday. But today, the best way to get stuff off the web is UPS. In fact, UPS delivers more e-business shipments than anyone else. So to ship from the virtual world, rely on the same people you rely on in the real world. UPS, moving at the speed of e-business.
Smart. It's the magic word during Kenmore Days. Our exclusive Kenmore appliance event, and quite a clever time to buy. Add free delivery or 0% finance charge on all Kenmore appliances over $3.99, and poof, you could buy that shiny new dishwasher. Kenmore Days. Your new kitchen is now on sale. Only at Sears. Smart, stylish, simple. In a word, Kenmore, America's best-selling appliance brand.
Sure, digital copiers are nice, but only carbon copies do this.
I like that snap. Let's go with the carbon.
If business were that easy, you wouldn't need us. Update your office technology with MCS Canon.
New York Mets baseball is brought to you in part by Saturn, a different kind of company, a different kind of car.
Well, it looks like Octavio Dotel might be out of the ball game. He was getting congratulations as you look at the roof, through the rooftop camera here at Shea Stadium. So Octavio Dotel will be able to get inside, freshen up, put a little cologne on, because Ralph doesn't put just anybody on the show. You have to smell a certain way, you got to look a certain way.
You got a style for Ralph.
And Ralph's downstairs now. We'll see if Ralph finds the room downstairs. And we're kidding around, but Rekiner's Corner will follow this ball game, and you see the congratulations being given to Octavio Dotel. So he has an opportunity now to go 7-1 since coming up from the minor leagues. He threw the ball hard in this ball game.
That's Jorge Toca, by the way, the Mets first baseman and outfielder, native of Cuba, in case you were wondering who that unfamiliar-looking Met was. Pat Mahomes getting loose in the bullpen. And Roger Cedeno will lead off the 7th inning. Cedeno batting against Julian Tavares. Comes on to do the pitching, the third pitcher for the Giants this afternoon. Just came back to the Giants a week ago. They'd sent him down for just about 2 weeks. He'd been struggling with the Giants, and they weren't all that thrilled with his attitude when he went to Fresno at the AAA level. 2 balls, no strikes to Cedeno. He made a couple of minor league starts, one in San Jose, that's Class A ball. Then they moved him up to Fresno, which is AAA, and they thought he kind of big-leagued it a little bit there. Dusty Baker did not get thrilling reports about Tavares' attitude when he went down to that brief minor league period. He had pneumonia earlier this year. Tavares did. He was on the disabled list for the better part of a month.
Well, you know, major leagues, the last thing you want to hear is minor league or rehab.
Strike at the knees, 3-1.
Because you fought so long and hard to get out of the minor leagues. You know they're doing it for your good, but you don't want to go back down. As you look at our New York Life in-game box. Johnson with a 3-run dinger in this game.
Inside, ball 4, and Cedeno has a leadoff walk here in the 7th. Should mention that it wasn't a rehab in the sense of an injured player just rehabilitating himself. He had lost seemingly all of his confidence.
Yeah.
Was wild. Was not pitching well with the Giants. They just sent him out for a couple of weeks to try to get straightened out.
Well, pretty much what they were trying to do is get him going again and bring him back up. It's almost like a rehab. But the last thing a major league player wants to hear, minor leagues. As you look at Bobby Bo, speaking of rehab.
He wasn't thrilled with it.
No.
Nothing in 1 to Ordonez.
What you're concerned about is when you go down there, they might forget you. Don't want to be forgotten in the minor leagues.
Ordonez 3 ground ball outs in this game. And Tavares misses again. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I played with a guy in the minor leagues who was a bit eccentric and used to send notes to the general manager of the major league team. His name was Cedric Tallis, the late Cedric Tallis, and the player was Dennis Papke. He would send him a note and say, and he knew who Dennis was. He'd say, "My name's Dennis Papke. I'm alive and well in Omaha." And Cedric would send notes back saying, "Looking at your stats, we didn't know you were alive and well."
You say backfire?
Oh, boy, I tell you, this guy was one of the true colorful characters I have ever seen in baseball. Dennis Papke.
So Tavares, who walks Cedeno, is ahead of Ordonez. 1 ball, 2 strikes with nobody out here in the Mets 7th. 7-1 New York.
In fact, that movie, Bull Durham, Dennis Papke could have been the star.
Cedeno with 60 stolen bases, 4 behind Tony Womack for the league lead. Not running here. The pitch taken outside, 2-2. Heavy overcast that we had just about a half hour ago is somewhat dissipated now. More sunshine breaking through. I don't know about here at Shea Stadium so much, but on Long Island at about 8 o'clock this morning, between 8 and 9, we had some serious thunderstorms. Through the hole, a base hit for Ordonez. I got to the ballpark and things looked relatively dry. And the reception, not a real warm one for Bobby Bonilla, who will pinch hit for Dotel. So Bobby Bonilla announced as the pinch hitter, 7th innings out of Dotel, who gave up just 4 hits and 1 run. Struck out 9, 1 less than his season's high. And Dotel also walked 4. Now Bonilla. This is all Bobby's going to do between now and the end of the season. Pinch hit. Hit hard, but a double play ball. Hit to Aurelia to Snow.
Well, that's tough to digest for any player, especially for a guy who was born and brought up in New York. And fans are not happy with Bobby Bo.
You know, he's made a lot of his own problems.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, absolutely. And unfortunately, it's turned out where it's very negative. But as you mentioned, how he's made a lot of his own problems. But to grow up in South Bronx, make it to the major leagues, and you know, it was probably a dream come true for Bonilla to play with the Mets.
Ricky Henderson, 1 out of 4. Singled and scored in the 3rd inning. No balls, 1 strike to Ricky.
And Ricky's made his own problems during his career now. Bobby Valentine on Ricky Henderson, I dare say he is a reborn guy. It looks like he's got a lot left in his tank at the end of the year. Without doubt, he is one of the strengths of this team.
You know, Bobby was asked before last night's game, what is the joy of managing a team that's as strong as the Mets have been this year? And he thought about that for a while. He talked about appreciating what you have. And then he segued into a discussion about Ricky Henderson and how you appreciate what Ricky's done as you would a piece of art.
Well, it's a good point. I'm sure that he would have thrown that piece of art away around 10 years ago.
Yeah, but it's up in value now, even though Henderson is down on strikes here in the 7th. We'll go to the 8th inning, 7-1 New York.
Just a bit of magic. The unexpected was quickly perfected ahead of your head. I said, our stuff is what dreams are made of. Time to bring it on home.
Mini TV, made possible by Panasonic. Just slightly ahead of our time.
Just a bit of magic.
Shannon Sharp, has always talking trash.
Japan, baby!
He's always trying to get inside your head.
Seahorse, you don't know your elbows from your...
And sometimes, he can get downright nasty.
I bet you pay transaction fees on your mutual funds. Your mama pays full commission. You know how to calculate a PE ratio?
When we created a smarter kind of investment firm,
How diversified is your portfolio?
we created a smarter kind of investor.
You can't even spell Dow Jones. Okay, guys, let's get this right. To calculate a PE ratio, you divide the stock price.
On September 17th,
Come here, gorgeous.
hold on to your rock. And get ready
You might want to buckle up.
to roll. This gonna hurt a little bit, huh? Martin Lawrence.
I'm the man. Break it down.
You're over your head.
No, I'm over your head.
Because your head's up your... Blue Streak. We banned the tech. Rated PG-13. Special sneak preview Saturday. Opens everywhere September 17th.
As a business traveler, join National's Emerald Club and you can bypass the counter, choose your own car, and get on the road fast. So what are you waiting for? Let's go. National Car Rental.
What is Coach Parcells going to say next? Find out on Parcells Unplugged, Sunday nights at 10:30 on MSG Sports Desk, presented by Chevrolet. Get extensive post-game coverage and press conferences, plus all the information on Gang Green from the head honcho himself, Bill Parcells. It's Parcells Unplugged on MSG Sports Desk this and every Sunday throughout the Jets season. Jets opening against Bill's old team, the New England Patriots, this Sunday. And as we go to the 8th inning, double switch for the New York Mets. Pat Mahomes will take over on the mound. Mahomes will do the pitching, and Melvin Mora will replace Ricky Henderson in left field. So Pat Mahomes will face Bill Miller, Barry Bonds, and Jeff Kemp here in the 8th inning for the Giants. Mahomes misses inside with a slider, a ball and no strikes. Talk about unexpected pleasures for the Mets this year. Pat Mahomes has certainly been one of them. Bobby Valentine has been comfortable using him in virtually any role.
He's looked good, too. He's had a good fastball, good breaking ball, and he's helped himself with the bat.
2 balls, 1 strike to Miller.
Outstanding schoolboy athlete in high school.
Ball 3 to Bill Miller. We're told that Mahomes will bat 9th in case you're keeping a scorecard at home. And Mora first as opposed to the traditional double switch, which would have had Mahomes batting first because the leadoff spot occupied by Henderson would be the last out of the inning. But Mahomes gives up the leadoff walk to Miller. And Barry Bonds will hit. It's really handled Bonds well this year, including the 0 for 3 this afternoon. Barry 3 for 21 against New York this season. Mets have the luxury of now pitching to one of the best run producers in the game with a 7-1 lead. And the Mets once again with a dramatic overshift on the infield. 3 infielders on the right side. Ordonez, the shortstop, on the second base side of the bag, and Robin Ventura, who's the third baseman, just about playing in a shortstop position. 2 balls, no strikes to Bonds. Drives managers nuts when you have a big lead and you start walking people. Mahomes with a 7-1 lead, walked Bill Miller. Now he's 2-0 to Barry Bonds. And it's fouled back, 2 balls and a strike.
Tony Gwynn said that Barry Bonds, he felt, was the best hitter in the National League for a number of reasons and a number of years. One of the reasons is he can hit with power. The other, he can hit for high average. They're great mechanics at the plate. You don't really see him overswing very often. And one of the few legit power hitters who chokes up.
3-1 now.
Dusty Baker said that Barry Bonds can pick up those pitches from a pitcher faster than anybody he's ever seen. He picks it up from the release point. He can tell what's coming, what type of pitch. Dusty was a good major league hitter.
Full count now to Bonds. Now, a lot of pitchers, or a lot of hitters really, talk about recognizing pitches based on the spin in the rotation. You saying that Bonds actually picks it up even before he's able to decipher rotation?
That's what Dusty was telling me.
That's hard to believe, isn't it?
Yeah, well, you get that great concentration, able to pick it up from the release point. And sometimes, you know, pitchers will tip their pitches.
In ball 4. So Pat Mahomes, who pitched a scoreless inning last night, right back in there this afternoon, and he's walked the first 2 hitters here in the 8th inning with a 7-1 lead.
One thing you have to be careful of when a pitcher is tipping his pitches, you don't want to tip them to guys like the Barry Bonds, who's going to take complete advantage of it. You can tip in many different ways. Even by putting your hand in the glove a certain way in a fastball, the glove might be opened a little bit wider, and then you put it in differently in a curveball, and the glove is closed a little bit more. Tip pitches that way. You can tip pitches from a set position by how you hold your glove at the belt or at the chest, whether it's up straight for one pitch like a fastball and tilted on a breaking ball.
Jeff Kent, 1 out of 3 this afternoon. Mahomes misses again. 1-0 on Kent.
And people have the uncanny ability to pick up pitches with guys like Wes Westrom, who you used to second guess as manager of the Mets. Willie McCovey said he called about half his home runs. He could pick up everybody's pitches.
Mahomes really struggling now. He's walked the first 2 batters. He's 2-0 to Jeff Kent. That's going to bring Dave Wallace to the mound.
Although the Mets have a 6-run lead, they got to seal this victory as Dennis Cook goes in the bullpen.
The 6th annual New York All-Star Basketball Classic to benefit wheelchair charities is coming to the Garden tomorrow night. Knicks' own Allen Houston headlines an NBA All-Star cast. Many New York legends will also be there, including Mark Jackson and Stephon Marbury. Tickets are available now at the Garden box office, all Ticketmaster outlets, including the Wiz stores, and online at thegarden.com. Charged by phone call 212-307-7171. Mahomes could really use a ground ball here. Jeff Kent doesn't hit into a whole lot of double plays. If Mahomes throws a strike, it's 2-1. Kent has grounded into 12 double plays this year. It's not a small number, but it's a little more than half of what Mike Piazza, for example, has grounded into. Next on the inside corner, 2-2.
Funny, sometimes it takes a pitcher a while to get comfortable on the mound. Use that word rhythm, and once you get it, you wonder what took so long. What is that comfortable feeling? That consistent release point. Stepped off the rubber, wants to get the signs again.
And the 2-2 pitch. Ground ball. Past Ventura into left field. Miller turns third. He's coming home. He'll score without a throw. It's now 7-2 New York. So Mahomes got the ground ball, but it was hit too hard for Ventura as it got under him before he could smother it. So the Giants now, with a run in, still have 2 on and nobody out. Jeff Kent is 92nd run batted into the year.
That'll be all for Pat Mahomes as Dave Wallace makes his way to the mound. So the Mets are not going to take another chance. J.T. Snow will be the batter. He has given up batting from the right side of the plate. So they're going to go to the southpaw, Dennis Cook, who's in the Met bullpen. Mahomes is out. Cook is in. Let's have a 5-run lead.
Find these people now.
Okay, boys, release the hounds.
Someone's been here. Searching for someone at your car insurance company after dark? At Geico Direct, we're here 24 hours a day. In fact, one 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
A transmission problem. That's not what you wanted, but when your local AMCO dealer fixes it, he can back it coast to coast with the best warranty and coverage in the business. 1 year unlimited mileage, 3 year 50,000 mile, or lifetime.
So what does the offer of an AMCO lifetime warranty mean? It means the experts at AMCO stand behind their work. Not just for today, but for as long as you own your car. Call 1-800-GO-AMCO, AA-MCO.
They say technology gives you the freedom to experience the world, especially when it's so affordable. Like a 2000 Jeep Cherokee Sport, which you can drive with air, power windows and locks, and remote keyless entry at no extra charge. When you lease one for just $269 a month with 0 down and $764 due at signing. Cherokee Sport. Now that's a cool way to access the sites you see online. Check out this $269 lease at your Jeep dealer today.
Fox Sports News comes your way tonight here on Fox Sports Net New York, delivering the latest from the national sports scene with a full recap of Major League Baseball and much more. Get it all on Fox Sports News tonight at 10 on Fox Sports Net New York.
Well, Pat Mahomes out of this ball game after struggling with his control. You don't have the luxury of struggling with your control in a ball game like this. So Dennis Cook is on relief. He's been in 63 games with that 10-4 record. He can strike you out 66 of them in 59 innings. So now it's up to Cook to shut down the Giants. The Mets have a 5-run lead on the strength of that 3-run home run by Mike Piazza in the 6th inning.
So Cook will go after a left-hand batter, J.T. Snow. Snow 0 for 3 in the game. He's hit 3 fly balls. Dennis Cook, who also pitched last night.
They came in and
a pitch for the Mets last night as they used a club record-tying 8 pitchers. You have to go all the way back to 1968 and a 24-inning game for the Astros in Houston. And the last time the Mets used 8 pitchers in a game. Those days, you generally carry 10 pitchers. Now teams routinely carry 11 and some 12. Of course, now the rosters are expanded. First pitch to Snow, full foul. But then again, when you think back to 1968, in those days, I believe you were allowed to play the entire month of April with as many as, I think it was 30 players on the roster. Weren't you allowed to break camp with about 30? And then they cut down again at the end of April, those final 5 or so players to get you back down to 25.
I remember when it was 25. You broke camp at 25, and you live with those 25 unless you sent somebody out and brought somebody up, but you could be right.
We'll get our people at Alliance to figure that out. 1 ball, 1 strike to Snow. I think as late as 68, they still open the season with more than 25. We'll find out. Right here, it's 1 ball, 1 strike to Snow. That would explain Gil Hodges that night having an extra pitcher or 2 potentially at his disposal. Mahomes faced 3 batters. All reached base. One of them scored. And Snow pops the ball up short center field. Dunston taking charge. And that's the first out here in the San Francisco 8. Snow has hit it in the air 4 times this afternoon. They've all been caught.
And now Dennis Cook will face Ellis Burks, a guy with 27 home runs. This is going to be a big at-bat for Burks. He can either get the Giants back into this game with 1 swing of the bat if Cook can set him down. He's in the driver's seat. He'll face Brent Maine next. And the big fella, Armando Benitez, loosening up that cannon.
Burks popped to second, struck out and walked. Way out in front, 0-1.
When you watch Cook aggressively goes after all the hitters, really drives off that mound.
And Burks out in front of a changeup with the first pitch. See those shadows starting to creep out now towards the pitcher's mound. And the 0-1 to Burks. Fly ball, well hit, right center field. Cedeno takes a look. Gone! A 3-run homer for Ellis Burks. And what was a 7-1 Met lead is getting uncomfortable. It's now 7-5 New York.
Well, Octavio Dotel out of the ballgame. We're not sure why he was taken out of the ballgame. He hasn't thrown over 100 pitches. We don't know what transpires in the dugout. Last time he pitched, I asked Bobby Valentine the next day because everybody was hoping he would complete a game. Bobby mentioned how something had been said in the dugout around the 7th inning that Dotel might be losing some of his gas. Now here's Burks. This is a big blow. He's back. He put the Giants back in the ball game. We mentioned that a moment ago. A home run, one swing of the bat, 3 runs. It's now 7-5. Brent Maine was called back to the dugout, but now he's sent back to the plate.
Doug Mirabelli, a right-hand hitting catcher, the other available catcher to Dusty Baker, but now it's Brent Maine. Maine takes strike 1. Think back to last night's game. Brent Maine had a double as a pinch hitter in the 8th inning. Came off of Turk Wendell.
Can't allow the Giants to come back and win this ball game. Mets have to go on that road trip out to the West Coast. It would be a very negative note to take with you to Los Angeles.
The home run by Burks was the 10th given up this year by Dennis Cook, and seemingly all of them have come in the last 2 months. Had trouble with that home run ball recently, and the ball fouled off by Maine. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Again, you think about all the work the Met bullpen had earlier in the season, and you wonder how much of it is catching up to them now. Again, the news on Turk Wendell, if you joined us late, he has a sprained knuckle on the middle finger of his right hand, his pitching hand. He's going to be out 4 to 7 days. And Cook now ahead of Maine, 1-2. And the count even. Mahomes came in with a 7-1 lead. Walked the first 2, gave up an RBI single. He left. J.T. Snow flied out for the first out. And Burks hit the home run. The 2-2 to Maine, and he got him. And that's the second out here in the San Francisco 8.
Big out right there, striking out Brent Maine. But Dusty Baker, as I mentioned a moment ago, had called Brent Maine back to the dugout. I don't know if he just called him back to talk to him, or then he changed his mind and sent him up to hit. But it all started off with 2 walks here in the 8th inning. And a base hit by Jeff Kent and a home run by Ellis Burks.
So now it's Aurelia. And Burks gets the Giants to within 7-5. Cook misses outside, 1 ball, no strike. Aurelia 3 for 4 in his career against Cook. Inside, ball 2.
Charlie Hayes with the bat in his hand on deck. Ellis Burks, 1 swing of the bat, a 3-run dinger. Back in the 6th inning, Mike Piazza, same thing, almost in the same area of the ballpark. Baker talking to Ellis Burks about swinging that bat.
Ball 3. Now you look at this bullpen. Dusty Baker continues to refine the work of Ellis Burks. Last at bat certainly didn't mean anything. Do you see a constant, whether it's Wendell or Cook or even Benitez, certainly in Wendell and Cook's case, in the struggles they've had lately?
No. No, it's just they're not making good pitches right now. I know you made a very valid point. I mean, they've thrown a lot of pitches during the course of the season, but I don't think it should take a toll on a young pitcher. I think that, they're strong, they've got a good arm, they're healthy, just bad location.
Like that? Yeah. So now the tying run will come to the plate with 2 men out. And it's a guy who has home run power, Charlie Hayes.
And you know, Howie, most of these guys in the Mets bullpen have impressed me with their arm strength and their ability to throw a lot of pitches. Now, Bobby Valentine is concerned. He's got Benitez loose in the pen, believe they're going to go to the right-hander. They're going to make Hayes hit against the hard thrower. Yeah, here comes Dave Wallace. You might as well go by the book in a situation like this. Bring in the big guy, make Charlie Hayes. If he's going to do any damage, make him do the damage against a guy who should be tough on Hayes, Armando Benitez.
Armando Benitez will try and finish off the Giants, although if he does wind up getting a save, he's going to need to work in 2 innings to do it. Tying run will be coming up.
When it comes to renting a car, there's really only one place to go. National gets you in your car and on the road fast. So what are you waiting for? National Car Rental. Let's go.
Our values are our blueprint. Integrity, our foundation. Every decision we make, every action we take is anchored in our commitment to always be there for our customers. Integrity is the foundation and the ink with which every policy is written. It's why New York Life is the company you keep.
Your next meeting is in 14 hours, half a world away. That's when you'll appreciate Trans World One, where for a business class fare, today's aviators get TWA's very best service to Europe and the Middle East. Comforts like plush recliners, gourmet meals served at your request, room to relax, and more. Everything you need to arrive ready to do business, all for a business class fare. Trans World One, only from TWA.
Friday, the Mets make their way out west to take on Todd Hundley and the Dodgers. First pitch Friday night set for 10 p.m. And then on Sunday, the Mets in Los Angeles will do it again. 8 o'clock start right here on Fox Sports Net New York. So there's plenty of action coming up this weekend on Fox Sports Net New York. Please check your local listings.
Charlie Hayes will get Armando Benitez.
Instead, it'll be pinch hitter Armando Rios, a left-hand batter. So Rios will face Benitez instead. Now, Benitez has had a few days off. Benitez last pitched in the series here at Shea Stadium against Colorado. That was in Saturday night's game, where he picked up a save. Outside to Armando Rios. 1 ball, no strikes. Rios, another in a long list of Giants. Recently came off the disabled list. Got hurt diving after a fly ball. Injury to his rotator cuff. And now Benitez behind him 2-0. 7-5 New York. Rios represents the potential tying run at home plate. Outside, 3-0.
Well, we talked about that word rhythm earlier, and it takes a little while for some pitchers to get that rhythm. Armando Benitez is one of those pitchers who really doesn't follow through. Stand-up type pitcher. He relies mostly on that big right arm. And at times, with that big right arm, he overthrows the ball, consequently out of the strike zone.
Ball 4. Now the tying runs are on base. And the Giants, once Marvin Bernard gets in there, will have batted around here in the 8th inning. Bernard coming up.
Watch Benitez's motion. One thing he is inconsistent with his release point. And it happens a lot to hard throwers because they try to overthrow the ball. Diving at the hitter, you see that release point up high, and that's exactly what he did. He threw the fastball up high out of the strike zone, and it's a walk. It's funny, though, you know, we've talked about it a lot. When you have a real strong throwing arm like that, if you just relax, you're going to get more velocity on the ball. There's a fine line between relaxation and getting real top-notch velocity and muscling the ball where you don't get the same velocity.
So Marvin Bernard with good speed. That could come into effect on a ball hit on the ground here, but instead he hits it in the air pretty deep left center. Mora over, stumbles a bit before making the catch. That kind of an inning for the New York Mets. It started with a couple of walks. The big hit was a 3-run homer by Ellis Burks. But in the middle of the 8th inning, the Mets are still in front. 7-5, New York.
Sorry. Not enough. No, still short.
For the great taste that will fill you up and never let you down.
Paper or plastic? Paper.
Make it a Bud Light.
Guys, need a receipt?
The waiting, the anxiety, the worry. The experts at AMCO know you're expecting the worst when it comes to your transmission. However, there is one thing that a lot of people get at AMCO that they don't expect. Good news. The good news is that a quick and easy external diagnostic check at AMCO can catch big and expensive problems before they happen. Now that is good news, isn't it? Call 1-800-GO-AMCO. AA-MCO.
Having fun yet? Get to the Wiz Labor Day sale. Get store-wide savings and more fun stuff free with select purchases. The sale you've been waiting for is on now at the Wiz.
Come celebrate a Spanish night.
Show up at Shea on Saturday, September 18th as the Mets and Gillette Mach 3 celebrate New York's Hispanic heritage. Join us for a special first pitch ceremony and enjoy the Hispanic festivities all night long. Don't miss the action as the Mets battle their Eastern Division rivals, the Philadelphia Phillies. For tickets, call 718-507-TIXX.
Octavio Dotel made the start for the Mets this afternoon. He was sharp early in the ball game. Dotel looking for his 7th win of the year, and he had the Giants swinging and missing a good part of the afternoon with a total of 9 strikeouts. Sean Dunston got the Mets on top. Mike Piazza had the biggest hit for New York. They built a 7-1 lead. The Giants just had themselves a big 8th inning, but this is our Tri-State Consumer Auto Insurance game summary. Piazza now with 106 runs batted in to go with those 33 homers. Dotel still in position to win, but it's now a 7-5 game as we go to the last of the 8th inning. And Edgardo Alfonso takes a strike from Alan Embry. Embry, the left-hander, former Cleveland Indian, becomes the 4th pitcher used by Dusty Baker this afternoon. Julian Tavares worked the 7th. Sean Estes started the game, went 5 2/3, gave up 7 hits and 6 runs. Miguel Del Toro came out of the bullpen to face Piazza in the 6th. That was Del Toro, who gave up that 3-run homer. And now Embry ahead of Alfonso, 0-2. Embry has been very effective over the last little while. Pretty good reason why there as he gets Alfonso for the first out.
Yeah, you don't see many pitchers beat Alfonso with the fastball. Embry was a good heater up high. Threw it right past Alfonso. Good catch. Seen Alfonso many times take that pitch that's out over the plate and hit that ball hard the other way, but he was beaten right there.
He's been equally tough on left-handers and right-handers this year, so he gets Alfonso. Now it's Olerud. Ball 1 to John. Olerud, a couple of singles in this game, one of them driving in a run. That was in the 6th inning. Let's fly to Los Angeles after the game. The Giants will head home.
Of course, the Mets won't fly before Heiner's Corner is on and off the air after this ball game. Ralph Kiner downstairs, I'm sure, doing jumping jacks, getting loose for that post-game show.
Oh, he's ready.
He was ready early because he was leaving the booth prematurely. He had me confused.
He's not too pumped, huh? And the fastball to Olerud, 2-1. Piazza with a 3-run homer.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he'll be a guest on Kiner's Corner.
Olerud shoots one out to left field, pretty deep, but playable for Bonds. And that's the second out.
Well, that ball is hit hard to left field, but that's not our Coors Light play of the game. Our Coors Light play of the game, it happens in the 6th inning. The batter, number 31, Mike Piazza, ball was out over the plate. He smokes it over the right field wall. And turned out to be a big blow for the Mets, a 3-run dinger, and that's our Coors Light play of the game.
So will it be Piazza who sits in with Ralph? Will it be Octavio Dotel? Or will the Giants have something to say about that? Thinking back to all those Kiner's Corners I used to watch as a kid, it was a system, pretty easy one. The winning team is the team that provided the players. So you were out most of the afternoon or the evening, and you came home not knowing what the team had done. You flip on the television, and there's Ralph talking to one of the opposing players. You go, oh, no, they lost. High ball, two. I think one of the most surreal Kiner's Corner experiences I can remember as a viewer was very, very early one season, around 1970, 71, somewhere in there. Don Clendenin was a guest of Ralph's after the game on what was a frigid day at Shea Stadium. Don Clendenin's on there. I don't know if Ralph will remember this, but he's wearing what looked to be some kind of mink or even a fur coat. He's filing his nails while he's talking to Ralph. The epitome of cool. And the 3-0 to Piazza. Ball 4. Wonder whether Embry, the left-hander, wanted any part of Piazza there with 2 out, nobody on, and the Giants still within 2 runs here.
Of course, if he pitched around him, he's giving him too much credit. You got to make Piazza swing the bat, but I'm sure he doesn't mind walking him and taking on the left-hander, although Ventura, with 30 home runs, is not a walk in the park.
And he's hit the left-handers well this year. 276 average for Robin against left-hand pitching. Tough foul behind third over towards the seats. Bill Miller there. That'll be a few rows back. If you like bases on balls, A, you're not a manager. B, you're not a pitching coach. But C, you'll probably love this game. 16 walks.
Even fans don't like base on balls.
Last thing Bobby needed was to have to stretch the bullpen out a little bit today after using 8 pitchers last night. High ball, right field. Ellis Burks over towards the line. And he's got it. The side retired. So just a 2-out walk. Nothing else for the Mets. And they'll try and nail it down as we go to the 9th. 7-5, New York.
See the best in college basketball when last year's NCAA finalists tip off their season at the Garden. It's a 2-day tournament featuring Steve Alford's Iowa Hawkeyes, the Stanford Cardinals, the perennial powerhouse Duke Blue Devils, and the defending champion Yukon Huskies. See the slam, jam, emotion, and excitement of college hoops. The Coaches versus Cancer Icon Classic, November 11th and 12th at Madison Square Garden. Get your tickets at the Garden box office or call Ticketmaster. Proceeds benefit the American Cancer Society.
Hold your hand even higher and into the fire we go.
Seduction. Murder. Blackmail. Fun for the whole family. The Scarlet Pimpernel, Broadway's most intriguing musical. For tickets, call Ticketmaster at 212-307-4100.
Where can you find the game's greatest players and its rising stars together on one super show? It's a brand new ball game called Baseball Max. You get 30 minutes of great baseball action in a program that has all the bases covered. So keep your eye on Baseball Max.
Thursday, watch the Reds Cubs on Fox Sports Net's Baseball Thursday. For your chance to win $2,500 in cash, just look for the 800 number during the game. For love of the game's Sweepstakes, brought to you by Universal Pictures and Fox Sports Net.
Well, that music brings back a whole lot of memories, and so will the host, Ralph Kiner, who is back with Kiner's Corner. It's coming up right after this afternoon's game here on Fox Sports Net New York. Kiner's Corner, a New York television institution, returns, and are we ever proud to have it.
Yeah, Ralph's got to be down there by now. I'll bet he found the room, too. Loosening up, probably doing some push-ups, some sit-ups.
That's one room Ralph never had trouble finding. That was his office.
Yep.
Place opened in 1964. Of course, he did Kiner's Corner in the Polo Grounds for 2 years. Actually did some pregame Kiner's Corners as well in the early days of the Mets.
So you did date Mr. Met?
No, it's his friend. Want to know to Bill, where did that come from?
Well, the boys downstairs told me you dated Mr. Met.
No. 1-0 to Bill Miller.
He was your first date.
2 balls, no strikes on the Giant third baseman, with the Mets leading 7-5 here in the 9th inning. Remember, after Miller, you've got Barry Bonds. Next thing you want is him representing the tying run. 2-1 now to Miller, who has an RBI single and 4 plate appearances. Tez looking for his 18th save. And now it's 2-2 on Miller. Very few of these Giants hitters have seen Benitez before, with Armando having come over from the American League. Only Hayes, Maine, Santangelo have hit against them, none of whom have hits. Balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Benitez deal. And Miller fights it off. For the injury to John Franco, Dave Wallace and Bobby Valentine will give the ball to John in this situation. John is gradually working back towards that role. For the time being, he's going to continue to work in a setup capacity with Benitez closing games.
See, Miller chased that bad fastball out of the strike zone. A lot of times you'll chase bad pitches when you face a hard thrower because you got to get that bat started. And when you start it prematurely, a lot of times you can't check the swing, so you chase bad balls. And he just didn't like that Miller called timeout.
A lot of hitters, when they think the pitcher is working too fast, they'll try to step out and slow him down. Over the glove of Benitez and into center field. So Miller wins that battle. A disgusted Benitez just fired his glove to the ground. And that means that Barry Bonds will hit, representing the tying run with nobody out.
Well, a lot of pitchers wear their emotions on their sleeves today. I used to tell pitchers, players don't show emotion. Don't let them know what you're thinking about, but that's showing emotion right there.
So now it's Bonds. Look how well the Mets have handled him this season. He did walk his last time up. Came around to score on the home run by Ellis Burks.
Walked into the Giant clubhouse before the ball game, and who was working out on the machines? One player, Barry Bonds.
Foul back, 1-1. Behind Bonds, you've got Jeff Kent. Center field. Darrell Hamilton there. And that's a big out. They've got Bonds out of the way. 1 down in the 9th. Darrell Hamilton coming on to replace Sean Dunston defensively here in the 9th inning. So Well, they've got one. Now it's Jeff Kent coming up.
So Benitez going right after Barry Bonds and getting him out in front. Bonds geared for the heater. Benitez taking something off, and Bonds, with extended arms, hit the ball toward the end of the bat to center field.
Jeff Kent with 2 for 4. Drove in a run with a single in the 8th inning before Burks hit the 3-run homer. Off the outside corner and low. 1-0 to Jeff Kent. Let's play Kent pretty much straight up in the outfield. Deep in the double play depth on the infield. And the 1-0 pitch. Fouled straight back, 1-1. Cincinnati continues to lead Chicago 5-2. They're in the last of the 8th at Wrigley Field. That's 3.5 ahead of Cincinnati for the wild card at the start of play today. The Braves are at home tonight to St. Louis. As far as the Giants are concerned, they're thinking about Arizona. The Diamondbacks in Milwaukee tonight. The Giants trailing by 6.5 in the National League West. The Giants still have 3 games to play this year with the Diamondbacks. Late September at Candlestick. Outside, 2-1. Mets were comfortably ahead going to the 8th inning. It was 7-1 New York. Pat Mahomes relieved Dotel at the start of the inning, walked the first 2. That's what had Bobby Valentine right back on the phone to the bullpen. Right there, Benitez hits the outside corner. And the count 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Balls, 2 strikes. Kent geared to the fastball.
Benitez field.
Looked like a slider. He took something off the pitch where he got Bonds. He took something off that pitch where he got Kent. As you mentioned earlier, Howie, you don't want to face Bonds and Kent late in the ball game, but if you do, you want to have the fastball and the slider working for you. Kent taking a home run swing. He's got 19 this year.
Benitez isn't through yet. J.T. Snow is no mere bag of shells, not with 19 homers and 86 RBIs. A left-hand batter exclusively now. Benitez hits the inside corner, 0-1. J.T. Snow gave up switch hitting earlier this year. He'll be batting left-handed here anyway with a right-hand pitcher on the mound. He gave up batting from the right side. The 0-1. Pop foul. Back behind the plate. And the Mets now a strike away. 0-2. The Mets took 2 out of 3 from Colorado over the weekend. They're trying to do the same thing to the Giants here. We're heading off to a 7-game road trip to Los Angeles and Denver. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. 7-5, New York. We're in the 9th. So Snow not chasing. 1 ball, 2 strikes now.
Looks like he got Bonds on something other than the fastball and Kent. Up on the count with Snow. We'll see if he takes something off with that splitter. Nope.
Heat again. Count 2-2.
You can see where Mike Piazza put his target. He's not asking. He wasn't asking for a splitter there, and he wasn't asking for a breaking ball. He put the target high. So they're trying to bust Snow upstairs with the fastball.
It'll be a 2-2 pitch to J.T. Snow.
So Benitez goes back with the splitter and gets J.T. Snow. Good pitching by Armando Benitez when he had to dig deep. He dug deep enough to get Bonds, Kent, and Snow. 3 of the most productive hitters the Giants have. And Mike Piazza, speaking of production, a 3-run dinger. And the Mets beating the Giants in a rubber game in this 3-game series. They'll head out west to take on those Dodgers.
So the Giants now 9 games behind the Mets for the wild card. The only hope for some help tonight from the Milwaukee Brewers to stay 6.5 behind Arizona. That's not the Mets' problem anymore. They've won this one 7-5. We're coming back.
Hello?
Susan, it's Fred.
Hi. Are we still on for tonight?
Indeed. I have reservations at Shea Joseph.
Really? Our place is always booked.
Well, Shea's a personal friend of mine. Pick you up at 7.
Okay. So, do you look as good as you sound?
Find out how you can make local calls for only a penny a minute all day Saturday and Sunday. Call 1-800-BUY-OMNI.
The most powerful V6 engine in its class. The most interior space in its class. Amenities that would surprise you in any class. For those seeking refuge from mediocrity and compromise, we offer the Sanctuary. Presenting the all-new Infiniti i30. It's all the best thinking.
There's big news in the shipping business. Now there's a shipper that confirms your packages were received. A shipper that uses digital scanners, lets you check on delivery by phone or internet, and can save you up to 65% over 2-day services. Which one is it?
The U.S. Postal Service.
Introducing delivery confirmation for priority mail. So, now what's your priority?
When it comes to renting a car, there's really only one place to go. National gets you in your car and on the road fast. So what are you waiting for? National Car Rental. Let's go.
Octavio Dotel now 7-1 as the Mets make it 2 out of 3 over the Giants after taking 2 out of 3 from the Colorado Rockies. 7-5 New York. Your final this afternoon. Armando Benitez picking up his 18th save. And this, Fran Hilly, was our Dodge drive of the game.
Our Dodge drive of the game, Sean Dunston, the batter, hits a bullet in the right field. Our Dodge drive of the game was not a home run, but a single off the bat of Dunston, accounting for 2 runs. And once again, that's our Dodge drive of the game.
So what does this game mean for the New York Mets statistically? Well, take a look at the National League East. They are now 3 games behind the Atlanta Braves. Atlanta will have Kevin Millwood on the mound tonight. They're at home against the St. Louis Cardinals. So the Mets 3 games behind Atlanta for first place in the East. And the Cincinnati Reds currently are leading Chicago 5-3 at Wrigley Field. That game is in the top of the 9th inning, so a check of the wild card at this moment as the Mets 4 games in front of the Reds. If Cincinnati hangs on, they'll go back to 3.5 behind New York. For the wild card, the Giants just on the outer fringes of the wild card race. They're now 7 out of first place in the National League West. So the Mets win it 7-5 this afternoon to make it 2 out of 3 over Dusty Baker's Giants here at Shea Stadium. Mets take the season series from the Giants 6-3. Octavio Dotel, 7 wins and 1 losses. He was the winning pitcher this afternoon with 7 strong innings of work. He struck out 9. Our next game on Fox Sports Net New York coming up on Friday night. The Mets and the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. You know, I used to dream about saying this. Stay tuned up next for Kiner's Corner. It's coming up straight ahead right here on Fox Sports Net New York. So a successful afternoon for Octavio Dotel. Talked about those 9 strikeouts as he pitched a solid, strong 7 innings, allowing only 4 hits. And he would have offensive support from Sean Dunston, who got the Mets on the board early, and Mike Piazza, who expanded their lead later. And so, for Fran Hilly, Ralph Kiner, Matt Loughlin, and the entire Fox Sports Net New York crew, make sure to stay tuned. We're all excited about the return of an institution. Kiner's Corner is coming up next.
5 things to consider about the Chevy Impala. It's new. It starts under $20,000. It's designed, engineered, and built to be carefree. It's at your Chevy dealer now. It's received a 5-star frontal crash rating from the federal government. As USA Today put it, it's a lot more car than you imagine, at a lower price than you expect. The new Chevy Impala.
Experience the joy of driving for only $269 a month. See your Chevy dealer for a great lease on the all-new Impala. Call for lease details.
The winner belongs to Wayne Newton.
Hey, Wayne! Start the game, baby! Start the game! Thank you, Wayne! Thank you, buddy!
Come on out to Belmont Park, home of the Belmont Stakes. Racing every Wednesday through Sunday, post time 1 p.m. If you want to feel the excitement, you've got to be here.
What's the difference between a discount airline and the airline of the year? The one with 70 years of service? Hint, it's not price. It's convenient scheduling. It's reserved seating. It's Sky Miles. And of course, low fares. The difference is Delta Airlines. Low fares and great service.
New York Mets baseball has been brought to you by The Wiz, your ticket to entertainment. By Aflac, insuring over 40 million people worldwide. By Delta, proudly sponsored by the 68,000 professionals at Delta Airlines. By Coors Light, frost brewed for that refreshing taste. Tap the Rockies. And by Priority Mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
Corner is back on the air. Excuse me. We're on the air? Thank you very much. Welcome, everyone, to Shea Stadium and Fox Sports Net, New York. Indeed, Kiner's Corner is back, and rightfully so. As much a part of the Mets' history as the games and players themselves, Kiner's Corner returns this afternoon following the Mets' victory over the San Francisco Giants. And, Ralph, I'm excited and thrilled. I grew up a Mets fan, and like all Mets fans, 35 or older, this is a part of our lives, and it's just a thrill to play a small role this afternoon.
Well, it's a little different, Matt. The first show we did, we had one camera. Now we got several. We have a set. We never had that. We was always sitting on a stool like Mike is. It's a different way, and I was able to find my way down there. It's been quite a while.
Well, it took a while, but we're glad that you made it, and we're glad that Mike Piazza joined us. And, Ralph, that was, of course, the big part of Kiner's Corner, the star of the game, joining you to discuss the day's events.
You know, my first experience with Mike was I was in L.A., and Tom Lasorda was the manager of the Dodgers, and he called Mike over, and he said, I got a kid here. He hits home runs, he says, like you did, high in the air and all that sort of thing. And I met him there, and, of course, this guy's become a real star of his own by then. It was a new thing for you, but he has really done the job.
All right, well, Mike, it was a big afternoon for the Mets, and Ralph, they made everyone wait till the final few moments. They made it exciting, certainly.
How come you guys wanted to do that on this show? And
it wasn't exciting for me, believe me.
7-1, we had it all worked out.
No kidding.
Had all the replays, all the things done, and then it was like the Mets might blow the whole thing.
I don't know. The only thing I think is that probably the guys down there are a little bit tired. Obviously, they have a lot of innings, and we got to keep going. I mean, there's no question we've had some bumps in the road, but we're hanging in there, and we're winning the games we should be winning, so we just have a hope to continue that.
Well, you sure are, and of course, the big blow in the ball game was your 3-run home run after Overwood that made the game 4-1. And right here, your first shot against this pitcher, and it's gone. One of the things about you is that when you hit the ball to right field, there's no doubt about it most of the time, and you got that good drive hitting the ball the other way.
Yeah, I've taken a couple of good swings earlier in the game. I had obviously a line drive out to Kent, and it's a little frustrating. Yeah, it's a little frustrating, but I hung in there, and I didn't know that pitcher that well. Del Toro, I think his name was.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I just looked at the book, and it said pretty much sinker slider, and he had a pretty tight little slider. I mean, I stayed on that pitch well. I was fortunate that I got enough of it to give us some insurance.
And it was a big run of the ball game. Mets held on and won it by a score of 7-5. And the big thing about you is they're catching so many games, and they're beat up. Everybody knows that. And day after day, you got a day off last night, and that maybe helps a lot.
It helps a lot, no question about it. I mean, it's tough. I mean, because every game is so important. You know, ideally, we'd love to have like a 6 or a 7 game lead right now, so you can take some really key days off. But as long as I'm swinging the bat well and our lineup is clicking well, that I want to be in there. And it's tough because you really have to get your rest and get your treatment, and because right now it's hot. It's still hot. The weather's been really humid, so I'm hanging in there. But we're playing well, and that's what we want to keep doing.
Of course, the big thing in the ball game was the fact that you threw out 2 men trying to steal, and the first one we can say, okay, it was a pretty good move by them. Bottom of the order, and Maine's on the first base. And really as a batter, and you got a tough pitch to throw here.
Yeah, the only good thing about that pitch is you stay behind the ball a little bit better. I mean, the pitch that I have trouble handling is a pitch to my left that I have to really pull back into my body. So, you know, and this one to Kent, actually, I don't know if he got a great jump or anything, but, you know, Octavio was pretty quick to the plate, and I just stayed behind the ball and threw a strike right there. I mean, that was one of the better throws.
Well, you know, the thing about that play is that he doesn't figure to run there. He's on second base, 1 man out, and he's trying to steal third. He had to take you by surprise. I mean, there's no way in the world he should be running. I can't believe he did.
Yeah, unfortunately for us, unfortunately, I made a pretty good throw. But, you know, you have to have those breaks sometimes, and I think he was just trying to get to third base, less than 2 outs. And, again, you know, you second-guess him right now, but Octavio throws a slider in the dirt or a curveball and the ball bounces, then it looks like a good play.
Right,
so we'll take it, no question.
Well, they played aggressive ball, and that's the way they do all the time. And a tough club to beat, especially with Sean on the mound. He's a tough curveball pitcher, fastball.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at his record, and it's really not that impressive, but he's got an outstanding arm. I mean, everything he throws is just so lively. I mean, I'm sure you remember the good left-handers that come out there, and the ball just kind of jumps out of his hand. He's got a curveball. He threw me a curveball. It just kind of locked me up, and I was like, I'll get the next one. So, I mean, again, I think, obviously, when he has lapses in his controls, it really hurts him.
Well, he had too many walks, and, of course, that kills you. But it was a great win for us, and a great thing for you. And Mike, thank you for being on the first comeback show. I'm making a comeback.
All right. You're looking good, man. Thanks a lot. My honor.
Well, Kiner's Corner is underway in its return. Plenty more still to come. Not just one segment. We'll still hear from Octavio Dotel, and we'll have highlights of this afternoon's win, so stay with us.
This will be short and to the point. HIP isn't just medical centers anymore. Thousands of doctors in private practice now accept HIP, which means you can pick a doctor the same way that you always have. Now, if you're wondering where your doctor is, he or she is probably in his or her office. Call us and see if your doctor's on the list. That's the point. We're not just medical centers anymore.
Just a bit of magic. Oh, you gotta say it. So like the unexpected. Was quickly perfected. Ahead of your head, I said. Our stuff is what dreams are made of. Time to bring it on home.
Mini TV, made possible by Panasonic. Just slightly ahead of our time.
Oh, just a bit of magic.
We've told you Chevrolet cars are trusted by more Americans than any other. And you know Chevy trucks are the most dependable, longest lasting on the road. There's just one more thing to remember. It's the clearance days of the Great Summer Drive-In, where you'll find a great smart lease, big cash back, or 0% APR financing on select 1999 Chevrolet cars and trucks, including Blazer and
S10, Malibu, and Cavalier. It's the clearance days of the great summer drive-in. See your local Chevrolet dealer today.
Hold your head even higher and into the fire we go.
Seduction. Murder. Blackmail. Fun for the whole family. The Scarlet Pimpernel, Broadway's most intriguing musical. For tickets, call Ticketmaster at 212-307-4100.
Welcome back to Kiner's Corner. That theme brings back wonderful memories. We are rekindling them this afternoon following the Mets win over the San Francisco Giants. We come to you in full color now as part of our reminiscing, if you will. We brought you most of that first segment in black and white, but we're back in color. As Ralph mentioned earlier, we've improved the show, if you will, with 2 cameras, but some of the sound effects remain the same from 1964 when Shea opened. You heard the beer barrels being put away after this afternoon's game. Ralph, we're joined by the winning pitcher this afternoon, Octavio Dotel, who improved to 7-1. This young guy's been doing it.
And he has done something that only 3 other Met pitchers have done. 7 games in a row as rookies for the Mets. And pretty good company right there. We had Ron Darling, probably before your time, but Doc Gooden, you know, obviously, and Jason Isringhausen. So 7 in a row as a rookie pitcher. And you beat the Giants today. First rookie to beat the Giants this year, and there were 22 other guys that tried, and you're the only one that has.
What was the secret to your success this afternoon?
No, I just came early to the club, and I just think about my game I'm going to have, and I just think, you know, where we are and the position.
Well, actually, Matthew, he had a secret. He walked twice. And the second time he walked was a big part of the ball game because it set the 4-run inning up, and it was a big part of the ball game. I didn't know you were that good with the bat.
I just want to be in base because I just got good guys behind me like Ricky, Alfonso, Piazza, Ventura, all those guys. If you get in base, you might get a lot of chance to score runs. So I just looking for my pitch, but I think I got lucky because this guy threw a lot of strikes. So and he gave me twice walks. So I say, wow. That's fine.
Well, in the ball game, Octavio, a Big Apple, and you got Kent in the first inning, struck him out there with a 3-2 fastball. Big pitch in the game, and of course, Kent's one of the best pitchers in the National League. Now, you struck out a lot of batters in the minor leagues, and of course, struck out a lot of guys in the game today. And then Bonds you got on a fly ball to center field, another big part of the ball game here.
This came in the 3rd inning. Runners at 1st and 3rd, dangerous hitter. You get him to fly out harmlessly.
No, I'm in behind the count in that situation, and you know Barry Bonds is a great hitter, so I just throw a little quarter inside, and that ball moved a lot, and he hit him. But when you see that kind of pitch right there, and you try to hit it right there, and when the balls move, you know that's happening a lot of times. A lot of times you have this guy out.
Well, you're talking about the one thing that really is shown up here when you got one of the great players of all time, Barry Bonds, at the plate. We're going to look at the sequence when you struck him out. Here's the first pitch right here to Bonds, and this is really a great performance by you. Fastball right there.
Take us through this sequence.
That was a breaking ball there, right?
Yeah.
Fastball chases.
Yeah, I just, you know, we are, like, I think I got a couple guys in base, or one.
Yeah, you had one. You did, yeah.
And, you know, the game is close, and I just want to take this guy out because this guy is great. So I just throw my fastball and outside in the corner, and I come in with my curva. Then I show my curva because my curva is going like, you know, it's big curva, and then I just, after that one, I say, wow, now I want to throw like high fastball because sometimes the hitter see my curva right there, and then the curva goes down. So I say, wow, if I throw great high fastball, I might get him, and that's what I do. I just throw high fastball right there, and he
has swung, yeah.
Swing.
That was a great sequence and really a really big part of the ball game. Now I got a question. You walk, okay? You're on first base and you got a jacket. You call for a jacket. It's 85 degrees out there. You're a base runner and you call for the jacket. Now why is this? Is it cool here in the States compared to the Dominican?
No, you know what happened? What happened is when I was in first base, there's a lot of wind coming, and I feel in my arms. So I don't want that thing bother me because I just want to be in the game. And sometimes when you got you on with no cover, sometimes there's a lot of problem with the pitcher. So I say, wow, I need my jacket. And I say, Mookie, I think I need my jacket, but I know it's hot.
Well, it's a likely story, but we'll take it.
Right after I put in my jacket, I threw it inside. And I say, it's better because I'm going to be hot.
Well, you came to the bench and took it off.
Yeah, I just take him off and go ready to pitch. But exactly, I don't want that wing being around my arm, so I just want to cover my arm. So that's what I try to do.
Well, you created a lot of that win with those 9 strikeouts and a great job of pitching.
Thank you very much, and I just want to, be right in the rotation and try to do the best I can for my team and try to be in the rotation all the time.
Well, you got a chance of being there a long time. There's no question about that.
Well, it was a big performance for Octavio Dotel this afternoon as he did strike out 9 and improved to 7-1. Big 4-run inning. We showed you some highlights of that, and we'll come back with some reminiscing after this.
And there's a break in the action now with 4 minutes left to go before halftime. Now let's talk to quarterback Vinny Testaverde and find out what he thinks. Ben?
Boomer, are you going to do this the entire afternoon?
Get a 32-inch Sony TV at the Wiz, only $699 with no interest, no payment for 6 months with your Sony card. Buy a Toshiba 50-inch projection TV, just $1,499, and get a hi-fi stereo VCR free. Only at the Wiz.
And now, let's go back to the game.
They say technology gives you the freedom to experience the world, especially when it's so affordable. Like a 2000 Jeep Cherokee Sport, which you can drive with air, power windows and locks, and remote keyless entry at no extra charge. When you lease one for just $269 a month with 0 down and $764 due at signing. Cherokee Sport. Now that's a cool way to access the sites you see online. Check out this $269 lease at your Jeep dealer today.
Why do I have Aflac insurance on top of my regular health insurance? Because he has his mother's eyes. Because I still have to teach him to whistle. And because Aflac helps cover what other insurance doesn't. If I'm injured, Aflac even provides cash to help pay bills. So why do I have Aflac? Did I mention he has his mother's eyes? Aflac supplemental insurance. Without it, no insurance is complete.
Well, I know Mr. Garner very well. Archer, I know you're looking forward to playing with the Mets this year.
Well, right here we have the fellow who has pitched a no-hit, no-run game, a perfect game, Jim Bunning.
Over on my right, Gus Bell, a former teammate of mine.
I knew you were going to bring that up.
Well, our guest in Kiner's Corner is Don Drysdale.
Davey, an outstanding golfer. Tommy, I've seen your game. You play terrible golf. In other words, you guys aren't the same, is what I'm trying to say.
I'm Ralph Kiner, and another brilliant performance out here tonight by Tom Seaver and the New York Mets. We have Tom, of course, as our guest. Tom, what's new? Well, I'll tell you, Tom, everybody, the standing ovation, everything about the fact that you got your 200th strikeout for your another consecutive year, your 9th consecutive year, the only pitcher in the history of baseball to strike out 200 batters or more in 9 consecutive years, and
Ralph came up to me, Rube came up to me and said, well, you need 6 tonight for 200. I said, yeah, I didn't know I'd been up that many times.
And Tom, I hate to tell you this, but Nancy just walked out of the room. Are we that bad?
I think we are. I think she's sick of us already.
Already, huh? Well, it happened like this. In the 7th inning, John Stone blooped the base at the right field. Mike Schmidt was struck out, and then a walk. The only walk meant anything in the ball game. And then the batter coming up was Tommy Hutt.
I could see the crowd getting all excited. And I could feel it, I could... I didn't think it was number 6. I thought it was number 5. And then everybody started yakking. I said, oh. And Rube came out and said, get the ball, get the ball. And I said, I guess that must be it. I lost one someplace. So.
Well, 23 years later, Kiner's Corner has not missed a beat. This is the return of Kiner's Corner following Mets games. And Ralph, looking at you and Tom talk bring back memories for me as a Mets fan. He referred there, or you did, to his wife Nancy. He talked about Rube Walker, the pitching coach. I mean, it seems to me that the players' wives, Mets players' wives, were on a fairly regular amount of time.
We really did have a lot going, but the one thing I want to go back to with Tom, pitchers, are really dumb. And you can see right there, Tom proved the point. He can't count. He didn't know 5 from 6. That's the whole thing about that.
But he knows 311,
well,
which
he does know that.
His win total, of course, now in the Hall of Fame, as you are also a member of baseball's Hall of Fame. I would guess that Tom Seaver, Cleon Jones, they might tied in terms of appearances on Kiner's Corner.
Mike McCarthy asked me that question, who was on the most, and I really don't know. We never really kept tab, and I would say that flip a coin. But Seaver can break the record.
Well, we'll have to arrange for
Bring him back. Well, then Cleon probably say, hey, I want to be on too. Because I'll tell you a funny story about Cleon. When he first went on the show, he was, of course, a rookie and brand new, and the television was new, and he's scared to death. He wouldn't say a word. He got the one-word answers, yes, no, or worse still, to shake his head, or like this, And then at the end, he had been on so many times that he was doing the commercials for me on the show. That's how often he was on.
Did you get a percentage of his deal?
No, he kept all the money, and in fact, did somebody pay on this show? I forgot. I don't think I got paid for doing that thing.
Well, then some things never change. Are you getting paid for the return?
No.
What was the best part of doing this show for some 3 decades?
I sort of relived it now on this show today because the Mets had a 7-1 lead, and it was a breeze. We had it all locked up. We were going to do the show. We had the replays all set, and then it became 7-5. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, now I don't know why I didn't want to do the show anymore, because you had to go and change the whole show with about 5 minutes to go, and if it changes over, and the Giants win. And so I said, well, that was a feeling that really came back, because so many times you'd be in a position to have a show all set up, have the guys all set to come on, and then the game would reverse and go back to the other side.
So many great stories have come out of Kiner's Corner. One that makes me laugh every time I hear it is the day Choo Choo Coleman appears on the show.
Well, I knew he couldn't talk. His whole conversation was, yeah, Bob, that was about it. And they kept saying, you got to have Choo Choo on the show. And I said, there's no way. And then finally I broke down and I said, well, okay, I'll have him on the show, and I'll do the thing, and then I'll back him up with Roger Craig, who was at the ball club at that time, and a good conversationalist and easy to talk to. So I get Choo Choo on the show, and I said, Choo Choo, and I figured this is the one thing that he would be able to answer or talk about. I said, how did you get your nickname? And his answer was, I don't know. Now, where do you go from there?
You're in trouble.
You got no chance. And it was the shortest interview I've ever done in my life. I said, what's your wife's name? And he says, I don't know, Bob, but she liked me. And that was the whole thing about the show. And then Roger was on, it was all right.
Well, what were some of the highlights as you look back and think about some of the shows? I mean, there were so many stars and so many shows to do, but are there a couple that really stand out?
Well, 69, when the Mets won and came from nowhere to win the whole thing, was really the great year. And near the end of the season, I would get to do the show right after the game. And the writers, of course, were all down there. And at that time, they had Dick Young and Leonard Coppett and Herb Gross and names that were legends in the writing business. And they didn't have to wait outside while I did the show. And so Dick Young came to me and he said, this can't work. We can't do this. We have deadlines to meet. We got to figure out some way where we can talk to the players while you do some of the others. So we worked out a compromise, and it worked out all right after that. But '69 was really the great year. There's nothing like that.
Well, no question.
Never will be.
No, the Mets celebrating the 30th anniversary of that World Championship. They come from the worst team in baseball in 1962, worst team ever, most losses ever, and in 1969 they're sitting on top of the world.
That's right, and of course one of the great shows in '69 was when Tom had the no-hit, no perfect game going, and lost it with one out in the ninth inning when Jimmy Quails got the base hit. And he and Nancy was sitting right over there. I had them on the show, and she was so emotional, so was he, as a matter of fact. The Mets won the game, but he gave up the one hit. I mean, that show itself was really outstanding as far as holding the interest.
Well, so many stories and so much history involved in Kiner's Corner as it makes its return following this afternoon's win by the Mets over the Giants. Ralph, the Mets certainly made the fans wait to celebrate, but let's talk a little bit about the game. We're going to check out some highlights. And, you know, Octavio Dotel was one of the big stories of the game, of course. He improved to 7-1, and the Mets were able to give a nice cushion. The bullpen had some problems, but what we're going to do is go back to the third inning, and Sean Dunston, New York native, Brooklyn native, comes through as the Mets get on the board.
He comes up with a big base hit after striking out his first time up, and the Mets get 2 runs here and take the lead by a score of 2-0. Dunston, of course, an outstanding high school player in New York, and then a base hit follows that as Agriani gets a base hit to drive in another run, and the Mets lead by a score of 3-0 in the ball game. And it looked pretty good for the Mets at that point, but things had turned around a little bit later.
Well, they did turn around, but first we have to talk about Dotel's performance. 9 strikeouts was outstanding. As strong at the end as he was early on.
Yeah, that's one thing about baseball you wonder about. Why do you take a pitcher out of the ball game when he's got a 7-1 lead and pitching very strongly? And, of course, the new method is you do and bring in the other guy. And unfortunately, the other guy this time didn't do the job that the Mets were looking at.
This was in the 7th inning, the last inning for Octavio Dotel. He strikes out the first 2 batters, his 8th and 9th strikeouts of the afternoon, and the inning ends when Marvin Bernard pops out to Robin Ventura at third. But the Mets were able to have a 7-1 lead, and, you know, the bullpen struggled. The Mets bullpen has had some problems lately.
The last 2 weeks have been really tough for the bullpen.
Cause for concern?
There's always cause for concern.
Or is it just a period?
I mean, every single day there's cause for concern.
But is it maybe just a stretch that
I think all the things are running patterns, and you have ups and downs. It's not always easy. It can't be always easy. And the Mets have the strength in the bullpen to work out fine. The starting pitchers would be important. And now Ellis Burks there makes the strategy of taking Dotel out of the ball game look bad as he gets a 3-run home run, then puts the ball game back in play for the Giants. And so, but that's what baseball is all about. This is why we love the game and why we play it, and you never know. I mean, it's a matter of moves and checks and more moves, and if they work out, everybody's a real hero.
Well, Ellis Burks' home run came in the 8th inning. It made it 7-5, but then Armando Benitez came on and shut the door, and the Mets come away with the win. They head to the West Coast now in a good frame of mind. Ralph, it's been a pleasure. What do you think about the return of Kiner's Corner? You can see the light in your eyes.
Well, it's fun to do. There's no question about that, and it's fun to have the players on. One thing you miss, basically, when you just do play-by-play, is talking with the players on a very informal basis here. And you really get to know their personality like Dotel. I've never talked to him before. And he was a wonderful guy to meet and talk to, and the people in the audience, I'm sure, see the same thing. And Piazza, I've known him well, of course, since he joined the ball club, and you see his personality. I think that's the important part. You see the guys when the face isn't on, you know, the mask is not there, and they really are they're like you and me, human beings. I think they are. I'm not too sure about
I don't know if I can hit the ball as far as Piazza or as far as you did, but yeah, it's nice to bring the human side of the players. Well, this is the return, but it is not the only Kiner's Corner that will come your way for the remainder of the season. We have more shows planned, including one this Friday evening following the game against the Los Angeles Dodgers. So Kiner's Corner back in just 2 days. We'll also have a show on September 23rd following the Mets and Braves afternoon contest. And the Pirates and Mets wrap up the season here at Shea. And on October 3rd, we will have another edition of Kiner's Corner. And at that point, we can hopefully look ahead.
Wouldn't it be nice on October 3rd to see the champagne being shot around the room and the Mets celebrating the fact that they're going to be in the playoffs?
Well, that would certainly close the circle on Kiner's Corner. Ralph, it was a joy for me, and look forward to the rest of the season.
Okay, Matt, good to be with you.
All right, that'll do it for this edition of Kiner's Corner. Special thanks to Rick Miner and the folks at WWR TV. We will see you on Friday evening when the Mets take on the Los Angeles Dodgers. So long.